charging the one, pretty high and deep to left field. Jafreda looking back, looking up, gone! And now the starting lineup for your Wareham Gatemen. The Gatemen are led by first-year field manager Ryan Smythe. Batting first, the center fielder. From South Florida, number 6, Bobby Bozer. Batting second, the second baseman from Arizona, number 20, Darren Caulfield. Batting third, the first baseman from South Carolina upstate, number 4, Grant Sherrod. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter from Kansas, number 5, Michael Brooks. Batting fifth, the shortstop from Miami, number 17, Dorian Gonzalez. Batting sixth, the third baseman from Marist, number 26 tonight, Byram Hott. Batting seventh, the catcher from UNC Charlotte, number 7, Renee Lastris.
The Wareham Gatemen, the Cotuit Kettleers, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Hey, first Toby, first base star.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out to the ballpark tonight. The Cotuit Kettleers and the Wareham Gatemen, along with the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA, would like to remind you that this is a tobacco-free ballpark. The Massachusetts Education Reform Act prohibits the use of tobacco products at this ballpark. We greatly appreciate your assistance in honoring this tobacco-free request. Thank you. We ask parents to keep their children off the roofs of the dugouts, away from the batting cages, and out of the bullpen areas. Please throw rubbish into the barrels and recycle the aluminum cans in special barrels located around the park.
At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for our national anthem. Singing our national anthem is Wareham Police Chief Walter Correa with the Wareham Police Honor Guard.
Really?
Oh,
bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Wareham Police Chief Walter Correa Jr. Tonight is First Responders Night, and the Gatemen honor the hardworking men and women across the region that put their lives on the line to keep all of us
sung
safe.
by Walter
EMTs
Correa
treat
of the
those in pain,
Wareham
firefighters
Police
risk to life,
Department.
carry
He is the
victims
police
to
chief,
safety.
and it's First
Emergency
Responders Night
managers,
here from the
marshals,
ballpark.
resources,
Good
and law
evening and welcome
enforcement
to
officials
Blaine
make
Field,
sure our
the home of
neighborhoods
the
remain
Wareham
safe.
Gatemen, and you're watching the Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Representing the area first responders and throwing out our ceremonial first pitches tonight are the Plymouth County District Attorney Timothy Cruz, the Wareham Police Chief Walter Correa Jr., the Wareham Fire Chief John Kelly, the Onset Fire Chief Jeffrey Oswald, and the Director of Wareham EMS David Evans. It is your pitches. Five perfect strikes right there.
Whoop, whoop. We love the pitcher. You didn't hear me. He's like zoned. He's not your baby right now.
Our umpires for tonight's contest. Behind home plate, Alan Liberdoni. At first base, Robert McHugh. Third base, Richard Christie.
set to get underway here. The helicopter's got to leave the field, so I don't think we're going to be starting at 6 o'clock.
No, I don't think so.
It's already 6:01 and there's the helicopter.
This will be some pretty captivating television.
Coming up on the broadcast tonight in the third inning, we're going to be joined by Joshua Lando, the pitcher. He's going to be joining us up here in the booth. And then in the 5th inning, Jackson Reed is going to be joining us. Look, the helicopter's getting fired up and ready to go again.
Depends on the situation. Come on.
It's game 41 of the season between these two ball clubs.
Here it goes.
Best record of the league at 27, 12, and 1 as the helicopter starts getting riled up here. But 4 games left for the Gatemen this year. We've got 3 video broadcasts. We've got tonight and then tomorrow night at Polar Park when they take on the Bourne Braves, and then we've got the last game of the season on Wednesday at versus YD here. We'll go on the road one more time Tuesday at Hyannis. Well, I can't say that this is something I've ever seen before. We're supposed to be underway by now, but the Massachusetts State Police helicopter is still in center field. Our umpires, home plate umpire Alan Lee Bardoni, first base umpire Robert McHugh, and third base umpire Chris Engstrand. We're all sitting there just waiting, as are we.
This thing's gonna lift off. It's been just spinning there.
Well, how fast does it have to go before it can take off?
That's a great question.
The Gatemen are sitting on foul territory outside of their dugout, just waiting. The Cotuit bats are starting to get the swings lined up. But we have a helicopter delay here tonight.
They're trying to play music over the loudspeaker. It's not going very well.
Good luck with that. Well, and they're playing center field too, which is a song about how we're ready to play. Unfortunately, it does not appear that we are ready to play. It's Cotuit and Wareham for the 6th and final time this year. Cotuit, first team in the league to clinch. Wareham, one of 2 teams that will not be in the playoffs this year. The door is closed on our side, so I think they gotta be closed.
Look at the grass.
Doing some free landscaping. There she goes.
Gonna get a nice breeze in about 2 seconds here.
That helicopter is very high in the air, deep in left center. It's still up in the air, approaching the wall, and it's gone. The helicopter is gone. It has left the yard, and that means it's now time for the Gatemen to take the field. And it appears our feet has gone with it.
And now to say where we've all been here for first responders and some young Gatemen fans.
There we go.
Go, Migs. Let's go.
And here the Gatemen take the field behind Aiden Major. His 6th and final start for the Gatemen today. Let's run through the defensive alignment once again. We've got Morton in left, Bobby Bozer in center, Jimmy Brennan in right, Byram Hott at third, Dorian Gonzalez at short, Garen Caulfield at second, Grant Sherrod at first. Renee Lasher's behind the plate. Major working with a fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. Appreciate you guys joining us here on the Gatemen Baseball Network alongside Aiden Blank. Jack Hunter with you. We've appreciated your listenership and viewership all year long. If you want to leave us a comment here on a YouTube page where you're watching from, we'll give you a shout out here tonight. We're friends of the people. Aiden Major out of West Virginia University. Aiden just finished his sophomore year. With 4-2 with a 4.88 ERA. Came out of the bullpen 18 times, started 3 times. Mostly was a long reliever towards the end of the year and has been making consistent starts here for the Gatemen this summer. And a throw down to second. There. We're almost ready to go as Brock Wills from UNCW is getting ready to get in the box.
The left fielder from UNC Wilmington, number 3, Brock Wills.
Brock Wills hitting .292 this year. A leadoff hitter for Cotuit, a leadoff hitter this past year at UNCW. He led off 55 of their 56 games. First pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner, and we are finally underway here at 6:08 Eastern Standard Time. It's a beautiful night for baseball, just a few clouds up in the sky. It's a very comfortable temperature with the wind blowing in. Game time temperature 75 degrees and sunny with a light wind gust. Even count now to Brock Wills. And Major misses high with the slider. Aiden Major having a little hitch in his delivery tonight. Starting to rock more into that back leg. And blows Wills away with the fastball at 95.
Come on, Aiden!
Major has 20 strikeouts through his first 5 starts of the year, trying to pick up number 21 to lead off this ball game. And now a full count.
Come on, get out.
Payoff pitch. Cut and a miss, strike 3. Aiden Major does get that 21st strikeout, and it starts off this ball game with a bang.
From the College of Charleston, number 23, Cole Mathis.
Now Major's got the tough task of setting down this guy, Cole Mathis, at the plate. One of the most valuable players in the league. A good pitcher and an elite hitter for Mike Roberts' club. He takes one low. He's homered twice against the Gatemen this year. In total, 7 for 15, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. He's also pitched 4 innings and 1 start against this team as well. And he takes strike 2, a little high in the zone. July has been kind to Cole Mathis. He's hitting .337 with 8 homers in the 21 games he's played here in the month. He's got a hitter's count. Fastball pumped home for strike 2 to Mathis, who DHs some, plays first base some, and obviously plays on the mound as well. Although he's moved into a bullpen role as the season has gone along. He's getting ready now for the 2-2. A little excuse me swing will keep his at-bat alive.
You may keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Haddington and his daughter Tevis.
Cotuit 15 games above 500. They've been elite on the road, at home, against the East, against the West. You name it, they've done it. That'll do. Strikeout number 2 for Aiden Major.
Dominant stuff starting out.
The third baseman from Bucknell, number 17, Sean Keys.
A quick strike 3 call from Alan Lee Bardoni. Aiden Major's parents here tonight. You can probably hear him through our crowd mics. Here's Sean Keys from Bucknell. He's been a recent addition to this Cotuit team, and boy, is Mike Roberts and Cotuit glad to have him. Gatemen on a little bit different on the infield tonight. Dorian Gonzalez moving over to short. His natural position has been second base at Miami and this year here on the Cape. Even count. And in addition, Grant Sherrod is playing first base for the first time in a Wareham uniform. He played first base mostly this past year at USC Upstate, so not a culture shock being over there. But they're trying to get him off his feet a little bit, nursing an ankle injury. Sean Keys and Cole Mathis accounted for the 5 runs in a 5-3 victory for Cotuit yesterday. Keys had a 3-run bomb, Mathis a 2-run shot. And Major misses just a tad low. Trevor Haskins from Stanford is on deck. He's playing shortstop tonight.
Not that Trevor Haskins. Different Trevor Haskins. One with NCAA eligibility left.
A little flincher back at us. The plexiglass screen that is separating us from being clocked by a foul ball is holding on by its last leg. We had to pause for a second to make sure we were still going to be okay. A loud strike, now the 3-2. Popped up left side. Morton ranging over into foul territory. And he's got it for the 3rd out. A good start for Aiden Major. He sets down the Kettleers 1-2-3 here in the top of the 1st. And when we come back, the Gatemen coming up for the first time this evening.
This is our food concession stand behind the Gatemen's bullpen in left field. We have all the burgers, dogs, chicken tenders, and fries you need to curb that hunger, along with water, Coke products, and Nantucket nectar to quench your thirst. If popcorn, slushies, and ice cream is what you crave, visit the lower concession stand beneath the press box. Also, there's a new coupon at the district attorney's table for first responders.
The second look of the season for the Wareham Gatemen at the 6'6" left-handed hurler, Cameron Hill from Georgia Tech. He leads the league in ERA and has just been tremendous this year with a .87 ERA. Apologize for some audio technical difficulties we're having here. Our mixer's trying to hold us to the end of the year. We've got just a few games to go, 4 to be exact, including tonight's game. But Hill, fastball, slider, changeup. He's a guy that struggled tremendously in his 2 years at Georgia Tech. But whether it was last summer playing in the NECBL at Martha's Vineyard as their closer on a championship team, or it's the ace on the best team in the league this year in the Cotuit Kettleers, he's had no share of failure at the summer league level. He's been just dominant everywhere he's gone up here in Massachusetts.
Well, he was an NECBL champion last season with Dorian Gonzalez and the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. Now he's trying to become a Cape League champion with the Cotuit Kettleers. He could win both.
He's 3-0 with a .87 ERA. He also picked up the win in the All-Star game as well. Had a nice, quick and easy first inning as the starter. Bobby Bozer gets it started for the Gatemen. First pitch to him is a cut and a miss. The lineup today for the Gatemen, it's Bobby Bozer, Garen Caulfield, and Grant Sherrod 1, 2, and 3, with Michael Brooks, Dorian Gonzalez, and Byram Hott following. Renee Lastris, Jimmy Brennan, Corey Morton at the bottom. And a changeup skips to the plate. The only knock on Hill, if there are any, has been control issues here this summer. His last outing against YD, he picked up a no decision because he went just 3 innings in a start on July 25th. He only gave up 1 hit, did not give up a run, but walked 4. And gets Bozer with another changeup. But when your worst outing of the year is 3 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs allowed, I think things are going pretty right for you. Okay, now a full count to Bobby. We talked about how this is the second look. In July 13th, 18-0 victory over the Gatemen. It's kind of hard to remember certain things like Cameron Hill starting that game because of just what happened later. He pitched 4 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 6 punch-outs. Bozer shoots one to right. Going back is the right fielder McCoy in front of the wall. Makes the grab. So Bobby sends it to the Bozer power alley, but can't knock it out.
The second baseman
first out.
from Arizona,
You didn't know where that ball was
20,
going
Aaron
because
Caulfield.
you had McCoy turned around out in right field. You just didn't know where it was.
Wind has aided the cause the past 2 nights. The Gatemen have scored 8 runs apiece, both games on the road, but the balls have just been jumping off the bats here. Grant Hussey hit a home run at Hyannis that had a exit angle courtesy of our friends at TrackMan at almost 50 degrees. That is almost unheard of. You got to spin it well, but the ball's traveling, and that slider's traveling inside. Good to see Garen Caulfield back in the lineup. He's been playing a little bit more sparingly recently, but still having a strong year, hitting .288. An all-star himself. Lee Bardoni calls the strike on a nice fastball from Cam Hill. The native of Fayetteville, Georgia, staying home, going to Georgia Tech. Caulfield pops up the slider to second. Trotter Harlan goes out into the outfield grass and secures it for out number 2. Well, the grass must have gotten a nice mow with the helicopter before the game. I mean, the helicopter is making the grass go in all sorts of ways. We'll see if that plays any role in this game tonight. Something to keep your eye on. Here's Sherrod, who takes an early swing. Sherrod, as we mentioned, suffered a little bit of an ankle injury. Just turned his ankle at second 2 days ago versus Hyannis, but they've not been able to get his bat out of the lineup. And he shoots one right side. Tobias going over. He'll pay it a look. It'll go foul. He's 6 for 12 in his last 3 games with 7 RBIs, including 3 last night in that tough walk-off loss to Falmouth. Hill's got him behind 0-2. And Sherrod punches one into left field for a base hit. Make that a 4-game hitting streak now for Grant, who continues to do damage early in ball games as well. It's a 2-out single. Stayed on an 82-mile-an-hour changeup. He'll extend the inning for Michael Brooks.
Number 5, Michael Brooks.
Top of the lineup really succeeded last night. The first 5 guys, Colon, Gonzalez, Brooks, Hussey, and Sherrod, 11 out of the Gatemen's 15 hits. As Brooks comes up empty for strike 1. Brooks included in that bunch. Season high, 3 hits. Had a double and an RBI as well. Pitch is taken low. Scanlon's throw down to second. Hits Hill in the back of the arm. Well, that's not the first time we've seen that this year, but it's the first time we've seen a visiting team do it. Scanlon drills the back of Hill's glove hand, or glove arm, with the throw. So 2 ACC foes during the year, Scanlon at Miami and Hill at Georgia Tech, sharing a meeting on the mound. Hill is shaking out his right tricep. That's not going to feel good. Mike Roberts and the medical staff, along with Alan Lee Bardoni, is going to go out to check on him. So Sherrod got a good jump as well. I don't even know if a good throw is going to get him. And now Brooks has a runner in scoring position. Hill's all good to go. And Wareham now trying to continue playing hot offense in the first inning of all games. In the last 2 games, they've scored 2 runs apiece in the first inning. You've now got 1 runner in scoring position. Brooks pops one to center. Coming in is Matheson. He's got it. And Cam Hill works a scoreless bottom of the first. Grant Sherrod's 2-out single interrupts the 1-2-3 inning, but the Gatemen get 0 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the second. No score here from Spillane. Back to Spillane Field for the top of the second. Grant Hussey, unfortunately, not in the lineup tonight, but he's been hot as of late. For more, here's Amanda. Amanda?
Very strong, powerful hitter. He has had 2 home runs in the last 2 games that Gatemen have played. What a lot of people might not know, though, is that he's a big Star Wars fan. I talked to him before the game. His favorite movie is Empire Strikes Back, like it is for most people. He also has a tattoo on his arm that says family and Star Wars language. But he got with his dad and his sister. Something that he doesn't talk about a whole lot. You wouldn't know unless you asked him about it. He's a big fan that he's watched all the shows. Something that makes him a little bit unique, makes him stand out as a player and a person. Guys.
Thank you, Amanda. We're here in the top of the second inning. We'd like to show off our Huss Bus t-shirts tonight, courtesy of the Hussey family, hooking us up. Grant's been a pleasure to have around the team this year, and now we get to wear his NIL merch. Got the Huss Bus t-shirts.
Love it.
So appreciate the Hussey family for sending us that. We're getting back to action here in the top of the second. No score here from Spillane. Trevor Haskins, Jacob Tobias, and James McCoy. The hitters due up for the Kettleers here in the top of the second inning.
Number 20, Trevor Haskins.
Come on, Mig! Come on, Aiden! Back to work.
Major had a 1-2-3 top of the first, struck out 2 Kettleers. His first pitch is just low at 93. A development for Aiden this summer has been one, throwing his curveball more. We've not seen it tonight to this point. And he misses again. Another thing too has been trying to control better inside the zone. Here in the Cape, you got to throw strikes, but you also can't be throwing meatballs to guys. And Haskins drives this one high and deep to left center field, and that one was a cookie, and it lands in the bleachers. Trevor Haskins shoots one out of here. The Cotuit bats stay hot. It's Haskins' 3rd home run of the summer for the Cats, and they lead 1-0.
With that home run, Delmar Vacations.
What do we tell you about the Cotuit offense? They homered a couple times when they were here last. This is a team that just mashes against Wareham pitching.
And now batting, the first baseman from
Well,
Arizona
Trevor
State,
Haskins
number 18, Jacob
gave an
Tobias.
example of what I was talking about. Major throws hard. That was 94 on the gun.
Let's go. Come on, Aiden,
But
back
against
to
these
work.
elite bats out here in the Cape, you got to locate your fastball well. You can't just rely on getting it inside the zone. Here's the lefty Jacob Tobias from Arizona State, and he sees one for strike 1. Cotuit hit 4 long balls the last time they were here in the last game before the All-Star break on the 21st. The 0-1 is rolled to second.
Yep.
Garen Caulfield's got it.
There you
At
go.
first he goes with it for out number 1.
The right fielder from Kentucky, number 13, James McCoy.
Here's a switch hitter, James McCoy. McCoy, a Kentucky Wildcat.
That's what he's talking to himself. Yep.
He
There
takes a
you
big
go.
swing and miss at the first pitch.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Nice.
A little deja vu. He does it again. Now 0 balls and 2 strikes to McCoy, who's a Dunwoody, Georgia native, just outside of Atlanta. He's hitting .224 on the year, 1 homer, 12 RBIs. And he sees it high. Cotuit in that 18-0 victory we talked about on July 13th hit 2 homers. One of them a Cole Mathis grand slam. Shot back towards the Wareham Middle School building.
Come on, Aiden.
We'll do the 1-2 again. Left side, this one is also going to find the bleachers, or will it? Over there in left, view obstructed.
Woo!
Still waiting on a call.
Oh, yeah.
I can't necessarily get a good view down there, and our monitor's not in front of us. But what I believe to be happening is Morton caught the ball, but out of the field of play.
Come on, Mage.
As we're taking a look at the replay, yeah, Morton caught it, but he was past that white line, so it's just going to be a foul ball. And we'll do the 1-2 again. One to nothing, Cotuit here in the top of the second. Trevor Haskins in a solo shot to lead off the inning. Aiden Major looking to respond. McCoy putting up one heck of an at-bat. Down the left field line he goes with it near our first responder vehicles
Come on,
in
Aiden.
the corner.
Battle. Come on, Aiden.
looking bet, this time to the left side. 4 straight foul balls for McCoy. Cotuit's 4th in the league in batting average. They are now 7th in ERA, but that might be a little misleading considering they gave up 27 runs in 1 game. McCoy's going to grab a new stick.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
The Wesleyan Wolf turned Kentucky Wildcat, who's finishing his freshman year. And he shoots one to center. Bozer going back, and this one's gonna land up in front of the fence. Bozer turns it around quickly, but it's a 1-out double for James McCoy. That's McCoy's 6th double of the year. And Cotuit starting to hit early and often here.
The center fielder from Indiana, number 12, Carter Matheson.
You know, on a repeat of what happened the last time where Cotuit kind of just jumped on you. And that was all she wrote. Wareham didn't have much of a chance after that.
In the last matchup, Cotuit scored 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. He had 5 multi-run innings in that big 14-4 win. Here's Matheson, and the Hoosier takes strike 1. Major yanks it low, now a 1-1 count. Cotuit still trying to put up some offensive and pitching success as well, despite the fact that a lot of their roster has turned over the last few weeks. Major misses with the changeup. Cotuit is 2nd in the league. They've released 42 players for whatever reason. They've released 42 this year. Wareham, the only team with more at 47.
Yes, there you go. One.
Major 1 strike away from picking up his 3rd punch out. Carter Matheson hitting 273. He's worked a lot of walks this summer. Have a seat. Major takes a little bit off and collects that 3rd strikeout.
There you go.
The second baseman from the College of Charleston, number 2, Trotter Harlan.
Here's Trotter Harlan, the second baseman. He went 0 for 3 with a punch out yesterday. A 2nd-year Kettleer.
Nice.
Swings
There
and
you
misses
go.
at the first pitch fastball. Another fastball, this time a called strike. And Major ahead in the count now. 0 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit up 1-0 off of the leadoff homer in the 2nd inning by Trevor Haskins. McCoy on second base doubled earlier in the frame. Major pays him a look and comes home. And he pulls it outside. slider, gets away from Lastrus after some brief hesitation. McCoy is going to scamper to third. He's 90 feet closer to scoring. It'll go down as a wild pitch.
Come on, Mage. Come on.
Popped up, foul, out of play, and we'll do it again. Longtime Cotuit manager Mike Roberts and one-time Gatemen manager looking to coach the Kettleers to their 4th championship under his tenure. They won in 2010, 2013, most recently won in 2019. Line up the middle, a base hit past the shortstop Gonzalez. 2-0 Cotuit off the bat of Trotter Harlan.
The catcher from Miami, number 21, Jack Scanlon.
Here is Jack Scanlon. And he takes ball 1 outside. Scanlon's been known to be a solid defensive backstop. He's not been able to hit over 200 yet, either at the collegiate level or in the summer league circuit. No different here with Cotuit. But catcher, obviously a valuable position in more ways than just hitting, as Harlan gets checked on. Scanlon spent 3 seasons with Oregon, that first one being the COVID year. His last season with Miami hit 140. Played in the NECBL for Newport last summer. And he fouls one back our way. Even count. Popped up, shallow right center. Bozer coming on, calls off Caulfield and Brennan, and he's got it for the 3rd out here in the top of the 2nd inning. But Cotuit strikes twice on 3 hits. They leave one stranded, no Gatemen errors. We now go to the bottom of the 2nd, with Cotuit having an early advantage.
Learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing.
They will. They're not done.
And its newest paper, Middleborough and Lakeville, Mississippi. Here you'll find locally focused community news, online daily, and in print weekly. News that's always free. To the support of local advertisers. Visit WarehamNewsToday.com where you can access all 4 papers or pick up a copy at hundreds of businesses and other locations around your town.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 100 years of Cape Cod baseball and 100 more.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle empty bottles, cans, and other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Do you know the sound Dunkin' Ice makes? Of course you do. It's the sound of summer. Summer sure does sound good. Try all the Dunkin' refreshers, iced coffee, cold brew, and latte. Duncan Ice, Cape Cod Baseball League runs on Duncan.
A little Martha's Vineyard reunion here as we begin the bottom of the second. It's Dorian Gonzalez and Cameron Hill facing off against each other here in the Cape. Dorian did not get a hit off of Cameron the last time these two teams played. Once again, playing for the Martha's Vineyard Sharks this past year. As he takes ball one inside. They won their first ever championship. Cameron Hill was the guy that closed out that championship game. He was an all-star closer. Pitched 2 innings, picked up the win when Martha's Vineyard took the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, I would guess Cameron Hill's going to take a little bit of that experience this year.
Ball taken low. It's now 3-0 to Dorian.
Because what happened with Martha's Vineyard, where they were pretty much middle of the road, didn't win the division. They were the 4 seed in the playoffs, and they just got hot at the right time. And what it I mean, Cameron Hill will probably be the first to tell Cotuit that, hey, 2 teams in the league last year in the NECBL won the most games in the regular season in the history of the league. The 1 and 2 seeds tied with 32 wins in 44 games. That's the most in the history of the league, and neither one of them.
And he gets Dorian swinging for the first out here in the bottom of the second.
Neither one of them won. The 1 seed ended up getting to the championship, but neither one of them won the title. So he'll be the first to tell Cotuit, hey, it's a warning sign. Just because you did so well in the regular season means nothing. This is a whole new ball game in the month of August.
Here's Byram Hott. Hott came on as a pinch runner last night, but did not come to the plate. And he shoots one into shallow right field. It'll drop for a base hit. A 1-out single for Byram. His 4th hit and his young Gatemen tenure.
Catcher from UNC Charlotte, number 7, Renee Lastres.
I was talking to Cameron Hill before the game, and I was asking him if, there's anything different that he's been doing out here in summer ball, because we've talked about a little bit so far. In college, he has a 7.33 ERA in 36 appearances over 2 years. He has not been able to really establish himself. But at the Summer League circuit, he's been elite. 5-0 with a .75 ERA last summer. Closed out 11 games for the Sharks. And then this summer, he's the favorite to win the White House Award for the best pitcher in the league. And he pumps a strike to Lastres. And he just said he's still trying to figure that out himself. But a talented arm, very long. He has 43 strikeouts in 31 innings. He picks back to first again. It's a continuation of his big strikeout stuff last summer, too. This is not going to sound real, but he struck out just shy of 50% of the batters he faced for the entire summer in 24 innings. Lastres now down 0-2 in the count. Maybe almost equally impressive is he only walked 4 batters out of the 80+ he faced. Renee Lastres, the 6'3" catcher. He's going to UNC Charlotte next year. He's been light with the bat this year. He's 3 for 34. And he stays alive once again. All 8 playoff spots got locked up last night, or the remaining of them did. So now just seeding up for grabs. Falmouth is up 2-0 on Bourne right now. They have a 3-point advantage in that three slot right now. Lastres dribbling 1 foul. We'll do it again. Good news for Cotuit. Orleans has a 4-0 lead on Hyannis. Hyannis 5 points behind Cotuit. They lost Kettleers yesterday. They do not have the tiebreaker. Lastridge skies one to right field. McCoy is ranging back in front of the wall. He's got it for the second out. They gave it a drive, but couldn't put it far enough. And on the Orleans side, YD is also winning, but Orleans is only 3 points behind YD for first place. Here's the team's leader in batting average. It's Jemmy Brennan, batting 4 for 10 on the year, a clean 400. And his bat goes flying as he swings and misses. Give those batting gloves a lick. They get the stick on the bat of that pine tar. That's like the 7th time we've seen that this year at home. Runner goes. Brennan pops one foul. Hott's going to have to retreat to first. Jemmy Brennan with 3 hits last night. All 4 of his hits have come in his return to Wareham. Runner goes again. Hott's going to have the stolen base. He kind of face plants a little short of the bag. You might be feeling that one, but he's got the base. One, two. Hit well to left, but hooking foul.
Hit really well.
How well, you may ask? 89 off the bat, according to our friends at TrackMan. It is pretty short to left field. It's Blaine Field. It's only 315. Good stop by Scanlon. Keep Hott on second. Cotuit has won 15 games against Western Division opponents. This domination inside the West this year has helped them get out to a big advantage inside of the division. An errant changeup pushes the count full. Corey Morton waits on deck. But first, Mike Roberts and Jack Scanlon want to converge on the mound and talk with Hill. Hill got nailed with a throw from the catcher Scanlon on a stolen base attempt in the first. It appears like he's fine.
Yep, they did. First thing, yeah. They always start with the end. Oh, it was at the end. Yeah. Like, just pull the roster up. Exactly. I didn't even notice the Addy. Like, I'm so used to, like, Darla spelling like that for years.
Mike Roberts has been the manager of the Kettleers since 2004. This is his 19th season. His 20th year, 2020 season canceled due to COVID. He's led the team to the playoffs 15 times. He's collected 400 career wins. He's won those 3 championships. And a high slider will put Brennan on base.
The left fielder from UConn, number 53, Corey Morton.
Be a good time to get Corey Morton going. He's just 2 for 24 on the season. And he swings and misses for strike 1.
Oh, very nice.
Corey had a UConn, hit 10 homers this past year, has 1 here on the Cape. And he sends it foul. Corey's dad played for Seton Hall, and he also played for Hyannis up here on the Cape. In the year 1988. And he swings and misses. Hill racks up his second punch out of the inning, and it escapes the Kettleers here in the bottom of the second. 2 punch outs for him, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We go to the third now. It's 2-0 Cotuit.
Joe Flynn and Matt Walsh created the J&M Baseball Academy. The two are focused on steering young baseball players in the right direction to reach their maximum ability on and off the field. To learn more and get involved, call 508-317-8308 and make sure you follow J&M Baseball Academy Instagram for up-to-date posts. Summer is here. We are finally back to enjoying all our favorite outdoor activities. As temperatures rise, so does the risk for unexpected injuries. South Coast Health Urgent Care Centers are open, safe, and here to provide the care you need when you need it. Our 7 locations are open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Walk-ins are welcome, and having a South Coast Health physician is not required. Visit southcoast.org/urgent care to check wait time.
To the third we go. The top of the lineup due up for Cotuit.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor
We talked
the Cape
about
Cod
the
Baseball League.
roster
T-Mobile
turnover
believes that when
between
small towns thrive,
these two teams.
America
Wareham
thrives. That's why they're investing
has parted
billions
ways
to
with
bring fast,
47 guys.
reliable, and affordable
Cotuit
wireless
second in the
service
league with
beyond the
42.
big cities to small towns
Let's
across
run in some
America.
numbers
There's
earlier
never
today,
been
and there's
better
a
time to join T-Mobile. Visit
weak but
T-Mobile.com/across
correlation
America to find out more.
between players that have got number of players released and wins, and that teams that have released less players have generally won more games this year. Cotuit has been the outlier to that. Despite the fact that they've released the second most players at 42, they have won the most games in the league with 27. They're replacing over half their lineup from when the Gatemen played them at Lowell Park on July 13th. So Mike Roberts in that front office has done a fantastic job of finding the next guy to fill in. They've got draft picks that have left mid-season. They've had guys that hit 500 for him, literally. Brett Bateman, who left. Caleb Lomavita, an all-star, just departed. He was banged up. And yet they just keep finding guys to plug in there and win. Alongside Aiden Blank, our producers Rachel Manning and Braden Shank. Jack Hunter with you here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And it appears we have our guest here, Joshua Lanham, as Major gets a swing and miss. Aiden's going to get him hooked up and ready to go here for a second. Brock Wills 0 for 1. He struck out in the third. Now a 0 ball and 2 strike count. Major with 3 punch outs so far. He's looking for number 4 here. See ya. A foul tip into the mitt. And there's punch out number 4. Wills has gone down for the second time this evening. Good fastball from Aiden Major.
Hitter from the College of Charleston, number 23, Cole Mathis.
That'll bring up Cole Mathis to the plate for the second time.
All right, Josh, can you hear us? I think we should be good.
Yes, come on.
First pitch to Mathis is in there. We're joined by Joshua Lanham, reliever for the Gatemen out of Lenore Rhine. Pitched last night, is here with us in the booth today. We might see you later today. Is that?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to. I'm hot today.
Bowed back. So what's it like being here on the Cape this year? First season here, but you've been in a lot of other summer leagues so far here.
It's a great experience, especially something you have to do before you get out of college. You know, this is my last time to do it, so I was able to do it this summer. It's a type of competition you want. Everybody's good. You know, it's lovely to see just have all this competition up here, high level guys, at the next level.
And you've been here with one of your Lenore Ryan teammates who's, I guess now your ex-teammate as Jackson's going to Western Carolina. What's that experience been like, having a guy not only just here but in your bullpen as well?
It's great, man, because, you know, he drives me all the games and such, and it's nice to have a guy I know right off the bat, so if I, like, so I'm not, like, being too shy or can't really talk to anybody. I at least have him to talk to, and, you know, it's just nice to have a familiar face and make friends with new guys.
So I've seen that you played for the Savannah Bananas, not the celebrity team that's been going around the country, but what was that experience like? And especially now you get to tell people that you played for them.
It was really fun. You know, it's a lot of creativity goes into it. I think it's more of what can you do that's not like everybody else. You know, everybody can throw 95 if they really wanted to, but can everybody throw 95 and, you know, throw it between their legs or toss it up, make a play, something like that. So it's just a lot of creative guys have to work on it.
Mathis awaiting the 1-2. Major's already got him once. And he pops one up to the shortstop, Dorian Gonzalez, who's got it for the second out. So you're the all-time strikeout record holder at Lenore Ryan. You got it this year. You're currently sitting at 293. What was that like, getting the strikeout record, and how aware were you of it when you're getting close to it?
I had no idea until they had brought me up after the game and told me. I really didn't know. But all the guys really supported me and such, and it was just nice to have, have new guys be there for it, and have the guys that have been around me for 4 years be there for it as well. So just doing it for them all the time. It's not about individual accolades like everybody wants, but if you keep doing team stuff, those individual accolades will just come.
And you're a guy too that doesn't have a super hard fastball too. You've got to rely on your off-speed stuff and good control. How have you been able to be this big strikeout guy with a fastball that's in the mid-80s?
Get ahead with it. All you need to really do is probably throw it one time in that bat, maybe once an inning, to get them knowing that it can come and they aren't trying to get blown by with 85 instead of 95. So they're trying to sit on that, but if you make them look like a fastball enough, they'll swing at it.
Josh, you want to stick around for another half inning?
Yes, I would love to.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you in the bottom of the third inning after Cotuit goes down 1-2-3.
Cape Cod 5 is a community bank, serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves, while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
Del Mar Vacations proudly sponsors the Cape Cod Baseball League. With over 350 properties across Cape Cod, there's no easier way to experience your favorite Cape League team than staying with Del Mar Vacation Rentals. Book your dream vacation today at thisisdelmar.com or call us at 508-247-0395 and discover the beauty of Cape Cod, where lifelong memories are made. Del Mar Vacations and the Cape Cod Baseball League. Your ticket to an extraordinary getaway. Whether it's auto, homeowners, business, or liability insurance, the folks at Legacy Insurance are sure to lend a helping hand. Legacy Insurance has built their reputation through their emphasis on service and loyalty to their customers. Stop into their Wareham.
Bottom of the third, Cotuit up 2-0. Top of the order, 2 up for the Gatemen, alongside Aiden Blank and our special guest here, Gatemen right-handed reliever Josh Lanham. Good to be with you here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And Josh, continuing our conversation from the top of the third, you talked about being a big strikeout guy. One of your best pitches is your changeup. I mean, the bottom just falls off of it. How did you get that pitch to where it is now, and what's the key to throwing a good changeup?
Well, it's funny. I always had a good changeup, but then I went to a junior college right out of high school, and they were talking about how I should throw it a little differently, and then I started doing it. I just moved my fingers over, just like one finger over.
Bozer gets a base hit into left. Continue.
And I just started long tossing with it, going about 120 to 200 with it, just trying to just let it roll off the fingers, And I teach it to some of my teammates now, and they've taken it, and it's actually worked for them pretty cool. So it just falls right off.
Give us a little critique of Cam Hill here. What's making him so effective tonight?
He's 6'6", and his hand is past his knee right now when he's coming set. So that's probably one of the better things. He probably has a pretty nasty pickoff move too, as that might not have been 45 though.
Have you ever seen an umpire call him for the 45 rule before?
I personally, I don't think I have. I don't think more lefties need to take more advantage of it, I think.
First pitch to Guerin. Just misses. And talk about being a guy that plays at the Division II level here with, it's not like you're the only one. Jimmy Brennan here and your teammate Jackson, and there's guys around the league too, guys from junior colleges, Division III schools, but you guys are kind of in the minority. What's it like being here with playing with a lot of high major D1 guys?
It's a really cool experience because, the divisions kind of like separate you, but when you get here, it's kind of you just play, and then you kind of realize that everybody's kind of the same. You think they're kind of big league, but then everybody's kind of the same, and it's cool. Like number 4, Grant, I don't know his last name, as he steals that base, he's gonna be safe as shit.
There we go.
He's taking our job. Yeah.
There we go.
And we played him in the fall when I was at LR USC Upstate, and just talking to him, being like, "We played y'all," and it's like it's funny just to have that guy up here and talk about that game and just get to know him through that game.
Did we get a Grant Sherrod, Josh Lanham matchup?
I don't know. I don't really remember because you don't really pay attention who it was when you're facing them. But I tried to remember really hard. We didn't really talk about that bats. We just kind of just talked about each other and how good he looks. Honestly, and he does look good.
What did you think of the Cape League before you got here? When you first got the call from Ryan Smythe that you were coming, did you think, oh man, this is the best of the best? What were your original thoughts?
That's kind of exactly what it is. I was actually supposed to go back up to Traverse City, Michigan, where I was playing in the Northwoods League.
Yeah, the Pit Spitters.
Yeah, and I actually was. I had a flight on Saturday, and I got a call on Friday, and my mom had to cancel the flight. And it was actually so funny that Jackson Reed, was coming up here too, so I just rode with him up here. Getting that call is just something that everybody looks forward to.
Is that a package deal? Did you know that he was coming, or was that just happened to be 2 separate guys that Smythe called?
It was actually 2 separate guys because
Guerin shoots one up the middle for a base hit. Bobby's going to come around and score. Caulfield's RBI single cuts the deficit in half. It's a 2-1 ball game.
I just feel like I forgot what the question was, honestly. I was so
Jackson Reed package deal.
Package deal.
It's actually funny how he got up here because he had posted his transfer video at the end of our season, and Smythe had told him when he could come up, and then he had just waited for that date, and then I had got the call too, and I just had asked him because he already said he was going still, so I had texted him, be like, "Hey, are you still going?" And he was like, "Yeah." So,
all right.
Took the ride up.
So Mike Roberts is going out to talk with Cam Hill right now. Looks like maybe there's some action. There is going to be a pitching change. Are you surprised he doesn't go longer than 3 innings here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. He's I looked up his stuff, though. He's a reliever at his college.
He is.
But, I mean, if they're trying to put him in the starter role, I would have let him go a little bit more. But he might have an innings limit or a pitch count or something like that, so they might be being a little scarce with that.
Well, that's true, and they do have to think about the playoffs. They do have to think about, he's probably a Game 1 starter. You got to think, get that win right off the bat.
Yeah, I saw his stats on the board during BP, and they looked pretty solid, I'm not going to lie. Below 1 ERA is going to work.
Have you done a lot of scouting of the other pitchers in the league?
Oh, yeah, and I just want to see just how they look and how they throw, and, it's just a lot of just great talent. Every guy, they bring out a guy, and you think he's going to be buns, but he's not. He's good. He's good. Every guy they bring out is going to be good, I promise.
Anything that you've picked up from any of the other pitchers in the league that maybe you thought, oh, that's interesting, maybe I'll try that next time I'm out?
Yeah, actually, I talk to all of our guys all the time, like Jake Faraday, I think is his last name. We actually talked today. He broke my glove today.
Did he really?
In fact, he went right through my glove, took the strings out. I tied a little knot, but I don't think it's gonna hold up for long. So I'm gonna have to get a new piece at some point. But
Let's hope nobody hits anything at you
yeah,
in the
I
near
don't want.
future.
Yeah, that's gonna come right at me. Promise.
Jacob Schaefer is going to be the new pitcher for UNC Wilmington. So you got to strike out everybody for the rest of the time now. You can't risk a ball being hit back at you.
Can't risk it. But he was just telling me about how to rotate down using your back foot, and it's just funny how he just picks up a ball and throws 97, and you know he's one of those guys that just have just the talent, and he works. But that talent's there for sure. That talent is there.
So what are your off-the-field hobbies? What do you like to do away from baseball?
I like watching baseball. I play a little bit of Apex Legends. I enjoy the gym. I go on some walks sometimes. It sounds a little soft, I guess, but I like walking. Walking is nice. See the environment and such. See new things. That's really it. Baseball really is my hobby, I think.
Yeah, I feel like if you're up here, you know, whether you're working up here or playing up here, people ask you if you got hobbies outside of baseball. It's kind of hard to say you do because you got to be really, you know, committed to be here.
Yeah. It's not like someone's like, I've been trying to play the guitar. Like, no, it's like I've been trying to get my mechanics right before this next game, before I pitch. You know, like I go home and I'm like, well, let me pull up the feed, let me pull up the string, let me see what just happened. Okay, I didn't pitch today. What can I do today to make sure I'm ready tomorrow and all that stuff. You know, meal prepping could be a hobby, I guess. I meal prep. I like to cook a little bit.
What do you cook?
I got some. I make barbecue in a crock pot. Nice little pulled pork action with some barbecue sauce, and then I like making some ground beef and some marinara sauce, like a nice little off-brand sloppy Joe.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also like some asparagus thrown in there as well.
Making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
It's only the third inning. Got a long way to go until the post-game meal. Sherritt steps in against Schaefer, who pitched in the last meeting between these two teams. He delivers a front door slider for strike one. So talk to us about your experience at Lenore-Rhine and maybe just the surrounding area, how you like it as well, and also just playing for the baseball team too there.
It's a great spot in North Carolina. It's Hickory, so it's right next to Charlotte. It's about 30 to 45 minutes north of Charlotte, but 30, 45 minutes south of Boone, which is the remote, like a mountain place where Appalachian State is. So it's a nice spot, and I got great coaches there. You know, they let me let me, you know, work, and just they trust me. So it's nice to have those guys. They're cool coaches, want the best for you all and all, and just great guys. Got a great team. They always bring in guys that want the same thing, is to go to the next level and win.
Have you ever gotten a chance to play at Appalachian State? It's a beautiful park.
I actually have. I was like 15 or 16. I was playing up with 18U because they didn't have a catcher.
Right.
And I actually got trucked at App State. My first time getting trucked as a catcher. And it makes a dime.
No.
There you go.
Catch for McCoy. I think he may have mangled his wrist making that catch. He's going to shake it off.
That's like what you were trying to do during BP in the outfield, right?
I wasn't even close, though.
No.
I was actually probably a good 20 feet from me. I was just trying to make a few people laugh.
You put in the effort. You get noticed.
Josh Lanham, Gatemen right-handed reliever with us, and you talked about you've played for a lot of different summer teams. If this is my correct count, this is the 5th summer league team you've played for, and you got some good mascots here. I've got to pull it up. The Rivets, the Zookeepers, the Bananas, the Pit Spitters, and now the Gatemen.
Yep.
Which one is your favorite mascot?
Well, you can't do the Zookeepers anymore the Asheboro Zookeepers are actually originally the Copperheads. They just changed to the Zookeepers actually last year.
Oh, he's going to get doubled up.
McCoy to first, and he is doubled up. All right, quick. You got a favorite mascot there?
I like the Gatemen. I think I like the Gatemen, but all of them are pretty solid.
Hey, saving the best for last.
Yes.
Guard the gate.
Yes.
There we go. All right. Well, Josh, we appreciate you joining us up here in the booth. You got to remind your teammate Jackson he's on with us in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
Hey, I really appreciate y'all having me.
All right.
And maybe we'll see you later.
All right. All right, he's offering to come back up. We may take him on it. That's Joshua Lanham. We're going to hit the break and go to the 4th inning here. The Gatemen pull in within 1 here at Spillane Field.
You must have a valid driving license and a good driving record, and you must be able to pass a pre-employment background check. You can find all of the information on these jobs and other open positions at www.usps.com/career. Your application will be accepted online only. Begin a great career.
GMC. Test drive one today at Robertson's GMC, down on Cranberry Highway.
And he said to run the dishwasher, but we didn't do it. We just washed them up. Nope.
Want a house? Need a realtor? Want the best in the area? We got you covered. So does Joanne Stevenson in conjunction with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Robert Paul Properties. Call Joanne at 774-205-0085 for direct consultation.
Kettleers is a leading provider of lightweight planting soil for community installations and is the exclusive New England supplier of stabilized stone dust. Weave custom soil services are completely for golf courses and provides unique blends to fit your needs, all by experienced precision blenders. To learn more about how Weave custom soils can serve you, call toll-free 1-800-924-53.
Josh Lanham spending the last inning with us here up in the broadcast booth. We'll get you caught up on what happened in the top half of the third inning. Aiden Major set the Kettleers down 1-2-3. And then in the bottom of the inning, the Gatemen scored 1 run on 2 hits. And first pitch from Major to Trevor Haskins is across for strike 1.
When Wareham signed Josh, I know we both were ready for that to be kind of the signing of the summer. We watched some interviews. He's a funny dude. That's one of the better moments on air we've had this year.
Ground ball to short. Gonzalez up with it. Double clutches. And it throws in time for the first out.
We haven't gotten a chance to talk about Dorian playing short tonight.
From Arizona State, number 18.
That's, it was a last-second decision. It was a last-second change. He's really played very nicely there.
Natural second baseman. He plays second base for Miami. Has mostly played second base for the Gatemen this season. This is his third game at shortstop this year as Tobias takes first pitch for a strike. Aiden Major giving up 2 runs in the second. He's been flawless in every other frame, though. 2, 1, 2, 3 innings flanking that second inning, and 1 up, 1 down here in the fourth. Cut and miss.
There you go, Mage.
Major spinning around.
One more.
He's going to go to the back of the mound. I think one of the funnier things from that interview is when he just said that Jake Faraday had broken his glove earlier today.
Yeah, he told us that too. He wanted to hit it.
We've kind of heard some
Exactly what he said.
folk tales about Faraday doing that. Have a seat. Tobias goes down for the second out here in the fourth. But to actually hear it from a guy on the team, hey, he broke my glove throwing so hard, I think that's hilarious.
Fielder from Kentucky, number 13, James McCoy.
Here's James McCoy with 2 outs in the inning, a double to his name.
Come on, Mage. Nice pitch.
First pitch fastball on the inside corner. Major's just cheesing out on the mound. He's happy. He gets the call from Alan Libardoni behind the plate. Shot left side, foul. Rocket into the one-way road on the other side of the bleachers.
Come on, Aiden. Come on, kid. Set him down.
Shot left field. A base hit. Morton cuts it off. McCoy, a wide turn, he'll retreat. It's a 2-out single for James McCoy, who's now 2 for 2 tonight.
Center fielder from Indiana,
Carter
number 12,
Matheson.
Carter Matheson.
We'll look to get McCoy home, or at least push the line to Trotter Harlan, who's on deck. Harlan has an RBI single. Matheson has undergone a little bit of a change of approach at the plate here this summer. Shows bunt, spins it foul. He hit 29 home runs in his first 2 seasons with Indiana, including 19 his freshman year. Despite all of that power, he's got no home runs here for the Kettleers. And this is his 30th game he's played, and he's not played poorly at all. He's hitting .273, he's walking a lot, he's not striking out a lot. And the pitch missed inside. I think we got some young kids in the crowd trying to predict the pitches that Mazur's throwing. Didn't guess right there. That was not a slider. Always good to see the young fans here out at Spillane Field, the next generation. One changeup sails high. Cotuit getting those 2 runs and those 3 hits in the second. Astros holding it just for an extra second. He wanted to call it, does not get it.
Come on, kid.
Hitters count to Carter Matheson. And he'll stick around another pitch. A nice fastball from Major. Cotuit has hit the most long balls in the league this year. They were the first team to 40. They did that yesterday. Number 41 off the bat of Trevor Haskins today. Runner will be moving on the pitch. It's a slow roller to second. Caulfield to his left, up quick with it, and secures the final out of the top of the 4th inning. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 left for the Kettleers in the top half of the inning. To the bottom we go. It's 2-1
You can
Cotuit.
enjoy a daytime ride with narrated tales on the history of the canal and how cranberries are harvested. Or enjoy a relaxing weekday lunch or Sunday brunch. Maybe a sunset dinner train is just the ticket. Cape Train is conveniently located at the Buzzards Bay and Hyannis train stations in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, along the coast of New England. Come explore all the Cape Cod Central Railroad has to offer.
The law firm of Lang, Forrest & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Forrest & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Local craft beer, great food, games, outdoor beer garden, and live music. That's all at Stone Half Malt. Better malt, better beer. Conveniently located across from Wareham Crossing in the West Wareham Industrial Park. Check them out.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod. So even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products.
The 6'7" righty Jacob Schaefer still out on the mound for the Kettleers. He'll be entering his first quote-unquote full inning of work, although he did get all 3 outs in the last inning. Second team All-CAA selection this past year. Over 15 starts and was rock solid in CAA play. A 4.62 ERA for the season, and Dorian slices 1 foul on the first pitch of the inning. Had a big start to his year, 7 scoreless innings, 8 punch-outs versus Navy in his first outing. Dorian shoots it left side. The hitting streak continues. 7 games now. A leadoff single in the 4th.
The third baseman from Marist, number 36, Byram Hotz.
How about Dorian Gonzalez? A tough year at Miami this year. He comes to the Cape looking forward to the new opportunity. Told me at the beginning of the year he's just trying to take things day by day, at bat by at bat. He struggled defensively and offensively for a lot of the summer. but he's come alive here as of late. He's now over 240 in the batting average department after being under 200 for most of the season. Byram Hott, 1 for 1 on the day. He also stole a base. The Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year. And he takes one in on the hands. Schaefer was a pivotal part in that no-hit bid that Cotuit had working 9 days ago. He relieved Jansen Kiesel in the 6th inning, pitched 2 innings, 2 hitless innings, and moved the line. But Cotuit lost it with just 4 outs to play.
Well, you're talking about Dorian. He doesn't strike you as a guy who would be playing the 2nd most games on the team. That's where he is. 2 ahead of Hussey and 3 behind Bozer. I doubt he's going to pass Bobby before the season ends. But still, he could finish 2nd.
Yeah, and then Dorian's a guy, too, that is just kind of a bulldog in terms of his work ethic. We're hearing that the team wanted Dorian to take a little bit of time off before he came up here after his season was done at Miami. And as it goes, he was not very happy that they asked him to do it. He wanted to get up there immediately. He wanted to get in the lineup immediately. And he's been a guy that's been hard to take out of the lineup. In summer ball, it's completely normal for guys to just want to take days off, just feeling a little off here and there. It's hard to get Dorian out of the lineup. He got to Wareham ahead of their game on June 16th against Chatham, and it's just been an Iron Man for the team. Now playing game 32 for him here today. Hott staying alive. Dorian's going to go back to Miami after this year. And a great situation, his new head coach, former assistant coach at Miami, J.D. Arteaga, is going to be his head coach. J.D. and Dorian's dad, Dorian Gonzalez Sr., were college teammates and are still best friends. Hott lifts one right field. McCoy tries to deke Gonzalez, who does not fall for it. But Dorian Sr. and J.D. Arteaga playing in the mid-90s for Miami in a stretch that was dominant for the U. They made the College World Series multiple times. And J.D. Arteaga is a guy that literally changed Dorian Gonzalez's diapers when he was an infant. And now he's going to get to be his head coach after being at Miami as an assistant for a long time. Renee Lastris, 0 for 1 on the day. And goes across, now behind in the count. Or an even count, excuse me, at 1 ball, 1 strikes. Schaefer working with a sinker and a slider, mostly sticks to those two. Occasionally a throw the changeup. Runner goes. A swing and a miss, but Scanlon can't hold on to the ball. And Dorian Gonzalez continuing to run on the bases.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to catch David Glancy, who finished his Gatemen tenure with 13 stolen bases. Dorian is now up to 7. You got to wonder maybe, you know, last couple of games of the season, if he just tries to take some bases, tries to take that record.
Renee takes strike 3.
Dorian is now 3 up on J.C. Colon, who's the next active player. Nick McLean had 5, but McLean's no longer on the roster, so Colon is the next active player after Gonzalez.
To Jimmy Brennan with 2 outs. And he slaps one through the middle of base hit. Stay hot, Jimmy Brennan. Dorian Gonzalez is going to score and tie this ball game up. It's Jimmy Brennan's 5th hit in his young Gatemen tenure. Tie ball game.
And that's a Jimmy Brennan-esque hit. He's not going to hit it very hard, but he's going to hit it exactly where the fielders aren't, and he's going to be able to reach base on these little rinky-dink hits that's really helped him get hot since rejoining the team.
Line moves to Corey Morton, who takes it outside.
Corey's a guy you hope to see get hot.
Jimmy Brennan now 5 for 11 in just his 7th game with the team. That's his 2nd RBI. All of those hits, all of those RBIs since returning to the club. He played a few games at the beginning of the year before being released, and he's glad to be back.
All right, let's quickly get your scoreboard update because Jackson's going to be in here in a minute. YD 9 and Brewster 6, the final from Stony Brook Field. YD holding off Orleans for now for that #1 seed in the East.
Infield pop-up. Tobias has it for the 3rd out. But the Gatemen tied this ball game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 hits, a run, no errors, and 1 left. We go down to the top of the 5th here from Blaine Field.
And Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Locate in Shaw's Plaza. Head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Reddy, Sheridan, and McNally, LLP, is a law firm with an outstanding reputation for achieving successful results, helping a diverse range of clients with their legal needs. Our attorneys focus on your individual needs and achieve successful results. Call our office 508-985-9888 to learn how Reddy, Sheridan, and McNally can help you.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
Have your attention, please. Now pitching for the Gatemen from Cotuit, Carolina, number 35, Bryson Schaefer.
Go, Bryson! Come on, Blythe!
We get something.
Back in the top of the 5th, Bryson Schaefer is the new pitcher for the Gatemen, and we have a new pitcher with us here in the booth. It's Jackson Reed, the big righty squeezing in with us up here in the John Wild press box. Jackson, how are you doing, first of all, after throwing a lot of pitches last night?
I'm feeling a little sore today, but just 2nd day soreness. Pitching coach took me through some recovery stuff, so hopefully I'll be feeling ready to go tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, a tight turnaround tomorrow after we threw over, 40 pitches last night?
I think I threw 50, yeah.
And then you threw 40 on Tuesday. What's been the key to having some stamina here this summer?
I wasn't playing summer ball before I got up here, so I was really just at home throwing, trying to keep my arm in shape until I got the call. And since then, it's kind of just been revamping and putting my body to the test. And so far, it's been so good. So.
Trotter Harlan getting things started for the Kettleers here in the top of the 5th, facing the new pitcher Bryson Schaefer, who's on for the 12th time this year. And as Bryson gets going here in the inning, what's it been like, the camaraderie between the bullpen this year?
It's been really good. A lot of us all have the same goal in mind. You know, we all are going for the same thing, so it's pretty easy to make friends. And so far, I've made a lot of good friends and learned a lot from them. And you know, I hope that I've taught them as much as they've taught me. So
to center, Bozer's got it for the 1st out. So you're going to Western Carolina next year after graduating from Lenore-Rhine. What was the decision to play for the Catamounts next year, and how much are you looking forward to it?
I'm really excited. So my pitching coach at LR for my first 3 years ended up taking the job at Western Carolina. And after I got done with the season, just kind of thought to myself, you know, what was going to be the best for my future. And as soon as I hit the portal, you know, that was one of the first people I heard from, and kind of had my mind made up as soon as I hit the portal that that's where I wanted to go. So it ended up working out, and I'm super excited to be back working with Coach Beasley, and it's going to be a good time for sure. Hopefully I can help contribute as much as I can. So.
What's the portal process like when you kind of have one school in mind entering?
Right, so I really didn't know what to expect hitting the portal, and like when I woke up in the morning after I posted it on Twitter, I mean, I probably had well over 200 DMs and text messages, so it was a pretty cool experience, and just kind of getting to talk to those guys and see what they have to offer. You know, so I obviously heard everyone out, but in the back of my mind, I really kind of knew where I wanted to play next year.
And that is in Cotuit, North Carolina for the Western Carolina Catamounts. You've been used as a reliever for Lenore Ryan. This past year you were a starter. Have you gotten any indication of what role you might be in, or is there a role that you prefer as well?
I think I'm at an interesting spot because my true love is coming out the pen, but starting this year really helped me clean up a lot of the things that I wasn't as good at. So, you know, I'm up for whatever they think is going to be the best option for us to win games. But honestly, I love coming out the pen in those tight games and slamming the door. So I'd say my first choice is definitely going to be going for that closer spot.
Jack Scanlon just slammed his bat.
He broke it. He was trying, I think, just to snap it at that point. And when did you get your, I guess, love for closing? Was that something you did growing up, or do you get to school and you get the adrenaline pumping?
Yeah, so it's just the adrenaline, all of it, just knowing, you know, your teams, all the guys are rooting for you and behind you. The adrenaline running from left field right out here, running onto the mound, is something that I can't really explain, and it kind of just takes over your body, and, you know, you trust that all the hard work you put in comes to fruition when you're on the mound, and that's kind of what I look for. So.
When's the first time you started closing out ball games?
I started closing a little bit last summer in the Northwoods, like getting the ball in those close games, and from then it just kind of became something that I love to do. And, you know, starting this year, I didn't have the opportunity to do it, and then coming up here, it's just like brought it back, and I realized how much I missed it. So,
Scanlon with a single up the middle. Jackson Reed with us. Future Western Carolina Catamount, former Lenore Ryan Bear. And Jackson, talk about the different challenges of being a reliever. Like when you're a starter, you're on a very tight schedule. You know when you're going to pitch. You got the routine. When you're a reliever, sometimes you know you're not pitching, like you're not tonight. But how do you stay ready, and what's kind of your routine like when you on a day where you might pitch?
So the first like 3 to 4 innings, I'm kind of just hanging out, talking with the guys, and, you know, they'll tell you about the 5th inning. I start standing up and pacing because I'm getting antsy. I'm just ready for the ball, and I just keep my arm moving as much as I can. And when I hear the call, I do a few bands, throw a few plyos, and start ripping pull downs and go into the game. So that's really about it. Last night I didn't have as much of time to warm up. I think I threw like 5 pull downs and like 5 pitches on the mound, and I was in. So you just gotta, you know, trust it and go out there and do what you can do.
All right, so we did the same thing with Josh and Cameron Hill. Take us through Bryson Schaefer's mechanics there on the mound as he throws. What do you see as a pitcher?
So to me, he has a really deceptive delivery. Watching him in the pen, we've been really trying to work. He's been really trying to make sure he keeps his arm as low as he can. I mean, you see he hides the ball super well, so it's even looking from here. I mean, I haven't seen it from here. Like, it's hard to tell the difference between a fastball and a slider. His slider's got a ton of sweep, so I mean, as a hitter, like especially lefty, like I really have no idea how they even make contact with it.
Yeah, that coil can be really deceiving, right? He kind of coils everything back and then lets it go, but he has a great pickoff move.
Great, yeah, and I mean, you see there, the it's hidden behind his leg the entire time until he comes up. So they have, you know, really no clue what he's about to throw.
Will's now 0 for 3 with 3 punch outs. And Jackson, you've been not only closing, but you've been one of the best relief pitchers in your short tenure with the Gatemen. What do you think has been the key to your success here?
Really just, you know, the biggest thing is I came up here with a chip on my shoulder, and I came up here with something to prove, especially to myself, that I belong in a league like this to play competition like this, and I've really been pitching with that in the back of my mind, and just trusting the pitch call and going out there, throwing everything with conviction and intent, and, you know, try to let them put the ball in play.
Mathis rockets one down the left field line into the corner. Scanlon, the catcher's running. He's getting the wave around third. And the relay is going to be offline. It's going to miss 2 cuts On second with a double is Cole Mathis, and the Kettleers take a 3-2 lead. This guy on second base right here, have you seen he's a pitcher and he's a hitter?
I actually saw him on Twitter last night. This guy does it all. They said he's mid-90s on the mound, too. So I sat out there his first AB. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw one leave the yard for him tonight.
When did you give up hitting? Was it a Little League thing or was it more of a college thing?
So my freshman year and sophomore year of high school, I had the flip at Tommy John my freshman year, missed my whole freshman year, threw my first bullpen sophomore year, threw my Armatic in, so I really didn't start pitching till junior year. But when I came back junior year, I really didn't have much time, so I was like, well, I got to pick something to focus on. So I'd say, I guess, like, honestly, like 8th grade, like I've been a PO since then, so just been focusing on pitching and, you know, kind of fell in love with it, so.
Here's Sean Keys at the plate, 2 outs here in the inning. Curveball dances on the outside corner. And what's the Cape experience like compared to the Northwoods experience? What's maybe the biggest difference you got there?
I'd say the biggest difference has got to be the road trips. Like, this is so much closer compared to the Northwoods, so it's nice to not have to stay overnight anywhere. Both are great leagues. I mean, great competition. The Cape is just everything that I had thought it up to be. I mean, every guy's, you know, it's big schools. All the guys are dudes at their schools, and it's been a great experience getting to play against these guys and show them what I can do.
What's he throwing here?
Slider. Oh, that was a little too-seam.
Fastball that hits the back door, now even count. There have been some kids that have been trying to guess the pitches. They haven't been very accurate either, so.
I'm going to stick with it here. I'm going to go slider again here.
Low and away, chase pitch?
Yeah.
All right, well, here it is, 2-2. 2 outs. Yeah, it's a little more up in the zone. It's fouled off. Out of play. We'll do it again. Planks up off the road. So what was your experience at Lenore Ryan like? We talked to Josh Lanham a few innings ago, and he's been very complimentary of it. You know, as you now move into your next step in your career, what can you say about your time with the Bears?
Man, it was something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. I made my best friends for the rest of my life there. The coaches came in there. I mean, mid-upper 80s, skinny righty, no clue where the ball's going. And, you know, they really developed me into what I am today. So I owe them all the world and wish them nothing but the best. It was a great 4 years.
Keys still at the plate. Payoff pitch coming as the sun starts to set a little bit. Almost 8 o'clock here on a July evening. Front door breaking ball misses inside. And Keys is going to work the walk. All right, we asked Josh this question too. Off the field hobbies, do you have any, first of all? And second of all, if you do, what are they?
I do have off-the-field hobbies for sure. My favorite off-the-field hobby is golf. Big golfer in my free time. I like to play. I like to swing the club the day before I pitch. Like when I was starting at school, like the day before, I had a little golf net in my backyard, and I would love to go out there and swing and hit. I feel like it loosened my body up. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. It was just something in my head, but me and all my friends back at school would go play golf on our off days whenever we could. So that's definitely my favorite hobby.
What's your best part of your game?
It used to be my driver, but it's my irons now. Still working on the short stuff, but
hey, it's the progression. I feel like that's how it goes. You start to get that precision locked in. All right, Jackson, it's been a pleasure to have you on here. We'll let you get back to the pen.
Yep, I appreciate you guys.
We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th. That's our guest, Jackson Reed, here from Spillane Field.
Wareham Walmart is a proud supporter of the Wareham Gatemen.
And
Need physical therapy? Select Physical Therapy works directly with you and your physician to create a plan of care that meets your goals and needs, with 6 locations on Cape Cod and more across the country. Select Physical Therapy is the official provider of athletic training for the Wareham Gatemen.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official official batting club of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams will receive their own custom team volley gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues. Only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin.
A lot of tickets, everybody. Anybody 50-50?
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cove, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cove, located on Route 6 on the Wareham Marion line.
Our guests, or at least our planned guests, are done for the night. Thanks to Joshua Lanham, and thanks to Jackson Reed. And now we turn to the bottom of the fifth, and we're going to get the mixer off for a little bit, and then go to 8. All right, Aiden, take it away.
All right, thanks so much, Jack. The mixer cooperates, and Bobby Poser takes ball 1. Bobby, a single and a run back in the third and F9 in his half of the first. Wareham and Cotuit for the final time this summer. Ball sent careening towards the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes. Our thanks to Josh Lanham, Jackson Reed, the Lenore Rhine dudes coming up and hanging with us. We'll have more guests on Wednesday. 2-0 off the plate, but a strike, 2 and 1.
9 innings, 9 guests.
I'm into it. Our final broadcast of the summer against the YD Red Sox. 2-1 settles low. 6 p.m. start. It'll be interesting. There's a lot of ways that game could go because YD is the #1 seed in the East. They could clinch by that point. Poser draws another walk. Did you know he's the league leader in walks?
The walk king, Bobby Poser.
But as I was saying, YD could clinch by then, and it would essentially become a meaningless game. One team not in the playoffs, the other team clinched and knows exactly what they're doing, and no need to, use a ton of arms or anything. But you could also be playing spoiler if YD ends up needing to win in order to get the 1 seed. We'll see. Cotuit's going to make a pitching change. Mike Roberts to the bullpen for the second time. Jacob Schaefer's day is done. Tell you about his replacement on the other side of this break on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Now pitching for the Kettleers from the College of Charleston, number 47, Eden Hunter. The second baseman from Arizona, number 20, Aaron Caulfield.
Welcome back to Wareham. The new pitcher, our child, Aiden Hunter. And immediately, they got Bozer dead to rights. Tagged out, Wareham loses the base runner. Well, an eventful start for Aiden Hunter.
That'll close Jacob Schaefer's line. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 K. He faced 8 batters. Another successful outing against Wareham this year for him.
Garen Caulfield, strike 1.
And the College of Charleston to Cotuit pipeline is going strong. It's a relationship that Mike Roberts is going to want to continue with the production he's gotten from Cole Mathis and some other guys this year.
Cotuit, almost as much roster turnover as the Gatemen this summer. 1-1, crack left side, just foul. But that's not necessarily odd. Mike Roberts has always kind of structured his teams as, you know, we're expecting to lose this group of guys, and when they're done, here comes the next group.
Yeah, they had the most players drafted, current players drafted from this year and just in general in this year's draft class.
1-2 low and out. And it's interesting again because, you know, a lot of coaches in this league will have complaints about guys leaving for drafts or coming in and having scheduled departures. And, you know, there are some coaches that will say, you know, if you're just going to leave and get drafted, I don't want you. Oh, almost a tremendous play by Keys at third base. He overran it. Caulfield reaches. See how it gets scored. Probably an E5.
No, go down as a hit. I mean,
now they're going to give him a hit?
That's a really tough play. He was cutting off the shortstop.
First baseman from South
Haskins
Carolina,
and
upstate.
just couldn't get it out of his glove. It was going to be a
Sherrod.
bang play, but how about Garen Caulfield now with 2 hits on the night?
Well, back to what I was saying. There are some coaches in this league that are saying, you know, I try to take as few draft prospects as possible because I want guys that are going to be here the whole summer. I want to, you know, really be able to coach them. And Mike Roberts is kind of a little bit different in that philosophy. And, okay, you're getting drafted. Come here, play as well as you possibly can and get us some wins and then go get drafted. Here's Sherrod. A single in the first and a fly out in the third. Lights coming on at Spillane, the penultimate matchup here this summer. Fouled away 1-1. Sherrod kind of drilled it off of his front foot. He's been a little banged up all over the place the last couple of games, just trying to finish out his summer.
Yeah, and he hit it maybe right into that ankle. And to add on to the Cotuit note, too, it's really incredible because, as we talked about earlier, generally this year, the more roster turnover you have, the worse you are. The Gatemen and the Anglers with the 2 worst records in the league, and they both are 2 of the 3 teams with 40-plus guys released. Chatham is the other one. Or excuse me, not Chatham, Cotuit.
2 balls and a strike to Sherrod.
And the work that the front office has done, too, because, you know, you lose one set of guys, another set of guys, another set of guys. To keep bringing in talent that's fresh is crazy.
3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, in this league, you really have to have a good relationship between the general manager and the head coach. You can't have a winning team without that. 3-1. Ball 4. So Wareham starts to cook on Aiden Hunter. Caulfield up to second.
From Kansas, number 5,
Sherrod now on with a walk, and here's Michael Brooks trying to get his first hit of the day.
Aiden Hunter's also pitched against Wareham. He pitched 2 scoreless innings in that 18-0 win, so this is not the first time Wareham is looking at him today.
Righty swinger. 2 runners on base. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. We got you the scoreboard a little bit earlier. We told you YD beat Brewster 9-6. Chatham's beating Harwich 11-0 in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1. Swings through it, 0-2. Falmouth up on Bourne 5-2. That is a very crucial game if Bourne wants to get the 3 seed or the 2 seed. They got to win that. That's in the top of the 7th at Doran Park. Orleans leads Hyannis 6-0, bottom of the 6th in Hyannis. And then this the only other game besides those. To the mound, Hunter makes the play, 2 down.
That fastball's got good tail on it. It really ate in on Brooks, who couldn't get the barrel to the ball, couldn't get extended.
17, Dorian Gonzalez.
So in struts Mr. Miami. Dorian Gonzalez, a single and a run in the 4th. 2 runners on base. Swings through it, 0-1. Harlan playing deep in the hole on the right side of the infield. Tobias there with him. But they've then got the shortstop Haskins closer to the bag, making sure Caulfield doesn't go anywhere. There's a strike. It's 0-2. So they certainly know where Dorian's power goes. Sherrod hang around at first base. The pitch off the plate, 1-2. Tomorrow, we're at Polar Park. For the 2nd consecutive year, Wareham faces Bourne there. Last rivalry matchup of the summer. 6:45 first pitch. And now Dorian fouls off this one. Tristan Smith going for the Braves and Will Kogert going for Wareham. Very happy to be there. WCTV there with us. We'll have a pregame around 6:30. The 1-2. Swings through it. Dorian's down to end the 5th. Wareham rallies but cannot get the runs across. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 6th inning coming up. Moving on to the bottom half of this ball game on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Or a full-service wedding for 200. Bases Onset, Massachusetts. Orders may be placed by calling or texting 508-317-6397 or email it minkleboyscatering@yahoo.com.
Don't even say. Yeah, they just handed it to you. So you can just deposit it. So, yeah. He didn't even open up. So. No, it's pretty close to 475.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Here's Amanda.
Guys, we know that at this point in the season, the Gatemen are eliminated from the playoffs. So then the question arises, what's left to play for? I was talking with Ryan Smythe yesterday, and he said a big thing that he wants to emphasize for his guys, besides just having fun, is to continue to play baseball hard, play it the right way. He said with the scouts here on the Cape, you never know who's going to see one specific play. If one person sees one right thing, that could change their future. And tonight, that is the case. There are some scouts here up on the scouting deck, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who they came to see if other players are putting on a show. And so that's something that the Gatemen are going to keep in mind, even though they only have 3 games left, that one little thing they do, if the right person sees it, it could change the rest of their life. Guys?
Thanks, Amanda. We move along here at Spillane Field. Bryson Schaefer out for another inning of work, Jack. We didn't get to talk about it because Jackson was here, but so-so first inning from him. Certainly not the worst inning he's thrown all summer, but maybe not the best. You look for him to kind of settle down. There were, the 3 batters he put out, they were good at bats. You'll look for him to kind of settle into a groove here in the 6th, maybe try to work him a 7th if he can.
Yeah, they just got to try to keep the team in the game at all possible.
First pitch over his head, ranging over Gonzalez. On the run, style points for Dorian, first out.
And the transition to playing shortstop is not easy for a lot of guys who are used to playing on the other side, at least in the collegiate level. But Dorian has great hands. He moves very fluidly through the infield, and he's put on a show tonight.
It's Jacob Tobias. Now here is James McCoy. 2 hits for him. fouls that one away. All kinds of movement from Schaefer. Coming in at 75 miles an hour. He is some kind of pitcher.
Unique, that's for sure.
Out of Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleer deals in 0-1. Off the plate, 1-1. The games remaining for Wareham. Tonight, tomorrow at Polar Park. Tuesday at Hyannis, and home against YD on Wednesday. 2 balls and a strike. Again, Wednesday we'll kind of just celebrate the team throughout the game. We don't know what the situation will be, whether YD is going to be coming in, maybe just playing it safe, having clinched already, or if maybe they're still playing for seeding. Count goes to 2-2. But we'll kind of just celebrate the Gatemen over the broadcast. We'll have some fun guests. And mainly thank you, the viewers, because without you, we're just talking to nobody. And we certainly appreciate everybody that's tuned in all season long. The 2-2 swings through it, fouls it into the glove of Lastris. And a strikeout for Schaefer. He's retired 3 in a row, so just as we said, he needs to work into a groove. He seems to have found that with the first 2 batters of the 6th inning.
Yeah, our resident booth pitching coach, Jackson Reed, last inning was talking about how Bryson's been trying to keep the arm a little lower. He's trying to hide the ball a little bit better. And that fastball, although it's at 87, it's really jumped on the hitters tonight.
Carter Matheson 0 for 2. Bunts it. Great bunt to third. Brooks is going to bring Sherrod off the bat. So Hott can't rush it over. Bunt single for Matheson. That's maybe one of the better bunts we've seen this season at Spillane Field. You know, that grass has been known to kind of deaden the ball, but that ball just carried, and Hott almost made a great play.
Yeah, he almost hit it too hard, but it goes to show if you can get the ball past the pitcher and the catcher doesn't get it, you have a good chance of getting on.
Runner on first. Inside to Trotter Harlan. A single and a fly out to his name. Having all kinds of fun, enjoying the waning weeks of summer here in Wareham. Hope you're doing the same. A strike 1-1. A lot of these players will go back to school as soon as they're done with the season here, especially those on a team like Cotuit that could make a deep run in the playoffs. 1-1 left side. Again stays fair. Hott, a second chance, and this time it's perfect. Byram just off with his first throw, but great on his second. Harlan set down in 2 of 3 at bats today, and the runner is left stranded. So no runs, no hit, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. Middle 6. In the back half of this ball game, we'll move along on a perfect summer night from Spillane.
He told me. Yeah. We just had so little time. Yeah. He actually told me he had 4 tickets. He says Ryan didn't got to be able to do it anyway.
Welcome back to Spillane Fields, Cotuit and Wareham for the final time this summer. With Jack Hunter in blank on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Each team with 7 hits. This has been a pretty entertaining game to watch. We've, been distracted at times with some booth guests and other shenanigans, but overall, this has been a very entertaining game to watch. And given the amount of offense that these 2 teams have produced this summer, a little bit surprising.
Yeah, and it's been nice to see a good game between these 2 teams. the last two of them have been Cotuit blowouts, 18-0 and then 14-4, and that 14-4 game felt a lot worse than that, considering that Cotuit was no hitting to Gatemen for 7 2/3 innings. So for the team to come to play, be competitive today, first of all, it's not a surprise to me because they've been doing it the past few nights or so, and it's also just good to see.
The first time that these two teams met, this was the final score, 3-2 in favor of Cotuit. It was at Lowell Park, feels like ages ago, back in the beginning of the season in June. Up the middle. And a leadoff single from Byram Hott. Made a great play to end the top of the sixth and has a single to start the bottom of it.
Our friend Bam Bam's up here now.
He is.
Catcher from UNC Charlotte,
If he could talk, I would give him a headset.
How are you doing, Bam Bam? He says he's doing good. You doing good?
Jack's interviewing him with a water bottle that's hooked up to nothing. No balls and a strike to Lastris.
All right.
I don't know how good of a microphone that water bottle's going to be. Lastris goes up top in the zone and fouls it back 0-2.
Bam Bam, of course, is our rally baby here for the Wareham Gatemen.
He is. And potential signee in future years.
Son of assistant coach Gene Bowles.
He has NCAA eligibility, as far as I know. Lastris hangs around in a 1-2 count. Get him a player for him. Activate him on point streak. Get him in the lineup.
I don't even think they need a bed for him. He's
Exactly.
already here.
He's living with our wonderful assistant, Gene Bowles. 1-2, 2-2. Wareham getting their 8th hit when Byram Hott singled to begin this inning. Now Renee Lastris battling back, down 0-2, now 2-2, and pops one in the air to center field. Racing back is Matheson, makes a long catch. Good contact by Lastris, maybe some warning track power at other parks, but again, very, very deep center field at Spillane, and it holds him very well. First out, and Hott stays at first.
Well, that's the second ball tonight that Lastris has hit to the warning track and to the other way as well. He got that one about the right center, and the first one was more dead right field. He's made some good contact.
Now it's Jimmy Brennan. He's come back so hot, he's been called Himmy Brennan. There will be a special pinch hitter that we're very excited about in just a moment.
After Brennan.
After Brennan, yes. He's going to hit for Corey Morton. And coming to left field. The Huss Bus will enter this ball game. Mike Roberts has gone out to once again talk with Hunter. Hussey will play left field for the 3rd time this summer. The first time he'll sub in left field. The other 2 times were starts. Jimmy Brennan just left waiting at home plate. Doesn't look like Roberts is going to the pen quite yet. Cotuit has used some arms. We had talked about Cam Hill surprisingly going just 2 innings. Kind of surprised, like Riley Eichhoff last night, only going 2 innings. Not the guy you would expect to do that, but an arm they definitely will need in the postseason, and that's probably strategic for our friend Mike Roberts to say, let's keep him short tonight, and let's use him in the first round of the playoffs, which begins on Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Cape League playoff action is back. Wouldn't you know it, he is going to go to the bullpen. Let's take a break and tell you who he goes to. 3-2 Cotuit, enjoying ourselves on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Welcome back. Wareham and Cotuit. And Jack, for the first time this summer, we say hello to Kohei Ohtani. It's Cole Mathis coming into pitch.
That's the second time. We saw him start earlier in the year on June 24th against the Gatemen. It was a long time ago, I know, but over a month ago, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 4 hits, no walks, and 5 punch-outs. That was when he was still a starter. He's really come out of the bullpen in his last few outings, but he's still good for multiple innings, and he's well rested. The last time he pitched was 4 days ago when he pitched 2 scoreless innings against the Wareham Braves. There's really not much this guy can't do. He's been one of the best hitters in the league this year, and has been more than a serviceable pitcher. The native of Kettleers, Georgia, on the second-team All-CAA this year. I want to know who's on the first-team All-CAA above him. But quite frankly, I would like the word. He hit .330 this past year, 200 at-bats, and had a .345 ERA in 10 starts. Led the team in both ERA and batting average.
First batter he sees is post Jimmy Brennan, who has walked and singled. Aiden Hunter goes an inning, 2 hits, no runs, but an earned run is potentially out there in the form of Hott. He walks 1 and strikes out 1, facing 6 batters. Brennan, the righty, coming on in, takes a strike. Jimmy crouched, 0-1, inside of the count's level. Looked like James Hepp was getting warm in the Wareham bullpen. But I wouldn't be surprised if they let Schaefer try to start this next inning. Swings through it, 1-2. 3-2 ball game. It hasn't been a pitcher's duel. The defense, the pitchers have just been very good at working around tricky situations. 15 total hits, but only 5 runs. Checked his swing, ball off the plate. 2-2. Wareham unable to wear their cranberry uniforms here at home because Cotuits are too much alike in color, fouled away. So they'll go with the navy blue jerseys. Traditionally on the road. It'll be interesting to see what they use tomorrow as well.
Maybe they'll break out the whites for the first time this year.
That's what I'm hoping for. I heard that they were too old and too damaged to swing and a miss. Brennan's down on strikes. And now here he comes. The namesake for our shirts. Let's hop on board the Huss bus. The left fielder, or at least he will be, subbing in for Corey Morton, is going to pinch hit. He is homered in back-to-back nights. 2 of his 4 home runs this summer, grand slams. Or Grant slams, if you want to get technical. His at-bats, the past bunch of games have just become must-watch television. Ball in the dirt, good. Block behind the dish by Scanlon. Or in our case, must-watch community television.
There we go. Mathis has got 5 pitches, fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and cutter. He's got the true starter arsenal. Can really throw anything at you.
Fires a 1-0. Just off the plate, 2-0.
I'm just going to bring this up. I think since we're wearing the Huss Bus shirts, I don't make the rules, but I think he's obligated to hit a home run at some point tonight, just for us.
I believe so. Get that in writing. 2-0. A high strike, 2-1. These, of course, are from his NIL line. We're told pretty much everybody on West Virginia's team got one, including Landon Wallace, Aiden Major. 2-1. 3-1. J.J. Weatherholt, who is on the Chatham Anglers twice this summer.
Yeah. I'd like to give a shout out to the Hussey family and his grandmother Anita for supplying us with
There you
these.
go.
They've been great watching our broadcasts all year. Got to meet them at the All-Star break, so big thank you.
Check swing. He threw it so hard the ball went flying. So Hussey embroiled in a 3-2 count here. We're in the 6th inning. He represents the go-ahead run. Both of the home runs he's hit the last 2 nights have been go-ahead home runs. They've come at massive points in the game. 3-2. He skies one. Right side. Nobody knows where it is. And it drops down. Brennan's going to score. Hussey gets a double. It got lost in the lights. Tobias, Harlan, and Haskins could not find it. And Grant gets himself an RBI. It's not a home run, but it's just as good.
I think there were some forces working on that baseball right there. I think we may have had an impact on that. But on all seriousness, if you're the shortstop Haskins, you see that your second baseman Harlan cannot find the ball. I know it's a long way to go, but you got to go over there and be at least more vocal or try to get it yourself. He was just kind of standing there looking at his second baseman trying to find the ball, and he couldn't.
We're back to the top of the lineup with the righty Bozer. Ball one high and in, ducks out of it. So Grant Hussey, since we put these shirts on, is 1 for 1 with an RBI double. Hard to beat those numbers. He's batting 1,000. We might never be allowed to take these off.
Well, I mean, I hope that's not the case.
1-0 high and tight, 2-0. We certainly can't wash them. A level count for Bozer. Caulfield waiting on deck. Bozer a single and a run in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, but then got picked off. He smashes one a mile high out to left. Back and gone! It's a Bobby bomb to give Wareham the 2-run advantage. Sparks flying in the 6th inning at Spillane.
Throw Bobby Bozer a hanging curveball at your own risk. He detonated that baseball. I mean, I was concerned that that ball was going through my windshield out there in the parking lot.
And now batting, the second baseman from Arizona, number 20.
And now it's Garen Caulfield trying to come in and join the fun. Cole Mathis comes in and gets rocked around. Gives up a double to Hussey that was lost in the lights and scored Brennan, and then throws Bobby Bozer a meatball that gets put over the left field fence. Mike Roberts has gone to talk to our home plate umpire. Jack, any guesses to what this is about?
I have no idea, because that was a fair ball.
Mike Roberts has gotten in a little trouble here at Spillane Field this summer, at least. He had a couple of arguments the first time they had, and this is Ryan Smythe has gone to talk now. The call will stand. It's a home run.
I don't know. Maybe they were mad at Bobby Bozer for admiring that homer. I mean, that would be the most silliest thing ever. I mean, you got to, if you give up a home run, just if you don't want him to do that, just don't give up a home run.
That's good advice. Ball one low, 1 ball, no strikes. Two out of the inning. 2-0. So Wareham came in trailing 3-2. They now lead 5-3. Up the middle, hop off the mound, and a base hit for Caulfield. Mathis, just something isn't clicking. He gives up 3 consecutive hits, a home run, a single, and a double. And now it's Grant Sherrod to try and keep the parade going. Still 2 out in the inning. He only needs 1 more out and the inning's over.
State, number 4, Grant Sherrod.
Breaking ball sails high, 1-0. Gatemen bats have woken up.
You have to pay for a replacement.
They've done it all over Cole Mathis. 2 balls and no strikes. Cotuit is locked in a battle for the #1 seed in the West. They're 5 points up on Hyannis. They need 4 more points in either direction to get it. Right side, foul, 2-1. So this is not a game that, you can afford to come in just leisurely, thinking, oh, well, you need to win this game. Orleans is doing you a favor. They lead 6-0 on the Harbor Hawks. So if you can get the win tonight and the Orleans score stays the same, you're halfway to the 1 seed. Orleans actually now a 9-0 lead. 2 balls and 1 strike. So you had 9-6 in the YD game. You had 11-0 in the Chatham game. That's in the 9th. It's 8-2 in the Falmouth game and 9-0 in the Orleans game. This is the best game of the night. Fouled away right side. Five to 3 Wareham. A Hussey RBI double and a Bozer 2-run shot. Right side, Tobias flipping and Mathis covering. But the damage is done. Wareham wakes up. They do it thanks to 3 runs.
It's time to pull out
they come on 4 hits with no errors and 1 runner left. Let's go to the 7th. Wareham in front, 5-3 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
5, 5, 6, 9.
Next up, the Highland Harbor Crew. Ticket number is 7268116. The gift certificate to the Seconds Count store goes to the winning ticket number of 63564. We have another Seconds Count gift certificate winner, and this time the winner is 63553. A Hyannis Harbor Cruise for 2 goes to the winning ticket number of 63546. Cape Cod Canal Cruise for 2 goes to the winning ticket number of 9082276. $50 gift card to the
When I go to work,
goes to the winning ticket number of 90822.
I know today was my only day at a good hair day. No, I'm having a really good hair day today because it's not humid. All summer.
Ticket number of 90817. Stay tuned, we still have more winners to announce.
Ryan Smythe having an extended conversation with the umpiring crew, the entire crew, as we enter the 7th inning. His team jack just exploded off Cole Mathis. Good to see. The Gatemen in front 5-3, looking for their 2nd win over Cotuit this summer.
Yeah, the only thing that I can anticipate this being about is that Bozer, when he hit his home run, was watching it, and I think that made the Cotuit dugout and made Mike Roberts very angry. And then I think the umpire said something to Ryan Smythe that he didn't like about it, and now Ryan Smythe is out talking with those 3 umpires.
They're still going. I saw it in the spring. It's certainly, warnings have been issued. I don't think I ever saw any actual penalties come from it, but I've definitely seen warnings. they've started to crack down on it a little bit more. Cotuit now on the comeback trail. Jack Scanlon leads off, scored a run in the 5th and singled. An eventful night here at Spillane Field. Again, nothing would bring Wareham more joy than to make a nice little comeback victory over the Kettleers and mess Cotuit up in the playoff race. We have a correction to make. We had reported last inning they need 4. They only need 2 because they have the tiebreaker with Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks are losing, so all Cotuit needs is a tie or a win in this game, and they're the #1 seed. Ripped to right field, a clean single from Scanlon. 2 singles in 2 at-bats, now 2 for 3. And that'll bring the tying run up to the plate here in the 7th. That #1 seed important because not only does it guarantee you home field advantage in that 3-game series to begin the playoffs, but it will also then give you home field advantage should you make the divisional championship. And in Cotuit's case, if they finish with the best record in the league championship. Brock Wills, left fielder, from his right side. Ball 1 into the dirt. James Hepp is pitching for Wareham. The UCLA Bruin has been a little rocky his last couple of starts. His first loss of the summer coming in 2/3 of an inning at Hyannis. That was 2 days ago on the 28th. Ripped to right field, but right into the glove of Brennan. First out. F9 brings up Mathis. And Jack, he can keep batting because he's going to DH for himself.
Yeah, college rule, kind of the Shohei rule in a way, in that they don't have to worry about, removing the designated hitter spot. He can still hit for himself. Even when they take him out of the game on the mound, he'll still be in that DH spot.
He doubled in the 5th. First pitch, a strike on the outer 3rd. You've got to guess he's the only player to hit and pitch at the same time in a Cape League game. This summer, at least. Not a lot of position players pitching in this league to begin with.
Except for Jacob Tobias.
Well, that's true. 0-1. A strike, 0-2. But, I mean, to be good enough to pitch in this league or to hit in this league is one thing. To be able to do both in this league is pretty darn incredible. Wareham, only one player has done that, and that's J.C. Cologne. 0-2, flared right side, foul. We've been waiting to see J.C. in a game since he last appeared a couple weeks ago against the Harbor Hawks. And you get the sense that, well, now that Wareham's eliminated from the playoff contention, just a little bit looser, maybe he does see some time out of the bullpen. It's 0-2 with 1 out. The runner on first is Scanlon. Fends off Hepp's pitch. Stays alive. Again, tomorrow night, a 6:30-ish pregame show from Polar Park, the home of the Woo Sox. And for one night, home of the Gatemen and home of the Bourne Braves. The second annual meeting between those two teams. The second Cape League game of the season at a minor league park. Hepp gets the strike on the outer 3rd, and Mathis is set down for the 3rd time in 4 at-bats. Brings up Sean Keys, 3rd baseman. Keys getting on base for the first time tonight, back in the 5th inning with a walk. Other than that, 2 flyouts. Grant Hussey is out in left field. We noted that earlier. Every other defensive position staying the same as we go to the 7th here in Wareham. The count's 1-0. Final Sunday night of the regular season. Final time the Gatemen will play on a weekend this summer. Deep breath and a 1-0. Inside 2-0. We've written in the game notes, Wareham is now not qualified for the playoffs since 2019, and that's a little misleading, as we were talking about off the air, because in 2021, Wareham would have made the playoffs. The pitch, high 3-0. The way that the Cape League playoffs are structured, it's 4 teams in each division. There's 5 in each division total. 4 teams in each division make it. And then you go 4 to 2 in each division, and then the 2 teams that win play in the championship. In 2021, the college baseball season was delayed with COVID issues. Inside and a 4-pitch walk for Keys. So that meant that the Cape League was delayed as well. They didn't play 44 games, and because of that, they only took the top 2 teams in each division to make the playoffs. Wareham was the 3rd seed in the West that year. So had they been using the rules that they used every other year to qualify for the playoffs, Wareham would have been in. But they changed it, and Wareham just missed out. So yes, they have not made the playoffs since 2019, but again, not exactly all there when you read that stat. Trevor Haskins, the shortstop, homered in the 2nd. Other than that, retired twice, takes ball 1. Certainly a lot of good pieces. Obviously, next year, still next year. But as soon as the summer ends, Ryan Smythe and Bob Prince and the entire team there will start to get to work on signing players for the 2024 summer, which will be here before you know it. And you would think they've got a lot to choose from if they want to ask players back. Only 2 returned from last summer. That was Ryan Campos and Will Koger. They have a lot more to work with this summer. 2-0 swing and a miss, 2-1. There's certainly a lot of players on the field right now that you think maybe could be some of the first that are offered a contract when Ryan Smythe sits down and gets to work. 2 and a strike, runners on 1st and 2nd, 2 down. The pitch. Fisted foul right side. Play was made in the stands, it looks like, sounds like. So the count levels at 2-2. A very lively atmosphere tonight. It's first responders night. We saw police and fire. I'm sure there were EMS somewhere around here. And you had the helicopter for the Mass State Troopers fly into center field before the game. Very cool festivities before tonight. Right side, it's slapped through for a base hit. Scanlon will hold at 3rd base. The base is now loaded with 2 down in the inning. Scanlon to 3rd. Keys up on 2nd. And Haskins has himself a single. And now it's Jacob Tobias to try and do some damage. The Sun Devil digs in 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts.
Well, the Gatemen have had leads in back-to-back nights on the road and have been unable to sustain them because of a few guys coming out of the bullpen and just not having their A game. And now it's the bullpen gates open, and you start to get a little tighter, a little more nervous. Somebody from this pen, it could be James Hepp here tonight, has to step up and get this game to the 9th and get it complete.
Lifts and fires. Swing and a miss. 0-1 on Toby.
There's a reason this team is the worst team in the league when they score first. You know, usually when you score first,
right,
it gets you a big advantage. You're going to be plenty of games over 500. Wareham is well under 500 when they score first because they have not had issues getting leads this year. Keeping those leads in the back end of the games have been the difficulty.
0-1 is outside. 1-1. Last 2 nights have been eerily similar. 9-8 walk-off losses in which Grant Hussey gave you a nice boost later in the game, gave you a good couple run cushion with a home run, and the bullpen just couldn't hold on. 1-1 in for a strike, 1-2. Hepp has loaded the bases, retired 2. One more to get out of this and keep Wareham's 5-3 lead. He's working off the first base side of the rubber. Scanlon, Keys, and Haskins on the bags. 1-2 to Toby. Just slowing in, 2-2. Steps back onto the rubber. Tobias back into the box. Infield is all back. Playing for that third out. The pitch off the plate, and the count now 3-2. Cotuit's dugout trying to cheer the rally on. They have 3 runs on 9 hits. They've left a runner in all but 2 innings so far, 5 total. Hepp a deep breath in the 3-2. Fouled in back of us, or above us really. Didn't clear the backstop, so the count holds full. Payoff pitch. Hepp and Tobias, a major battle with the bases loaded and Wareham clinging to a 2-run lead. Swing and a miss. Hepp with a nice shot on the mound, and he gets out of the bases loaded jam. For Cotuit in the 7th. No runs, coming on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. It is take me out to the ball game time. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Massachusetts Stargazing Crew goes to the ticket number of 635652. The Cape Cod Dinner Train for 2 goes to win ticket number of 90813. Finally, our cash prize of $262 to the winning ticket number of 6355993. Again, the winning ticket number for $262, the lucky winner of 6355993. Congratulations to all our winners. Make sure to pick up your prize downstairs by the Hard ticket winners to announce of the USOC VIP package. The first winner to David Stevenson. And the second winner for the USOC VIP package is John Hope. Congratulations to David Stevenson and John Hope for winning the USOC VIP package. Congratulations to all our 50/50 winners. Kettleers from Arizona State, number 40, Brock Peary.
From one Sun Devil to another, Jacob Tobias striking out to end the top half of the 7th. Brock Peary enters in the bottom of it. Wareham trying to extend their lead, sending up Brooks, Gonzalez, and Hott. Michael, the designated hitter, takes ball 1 low. Cole Mathis will stay in the game as a designated hitter, so he'll remain in the lineup. 1-0, just a touch off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Peary is in the portal. couple of Power 5 schools interested in the Brock Peary experience. There's a smoke ball to right field, and Brooks gets on. Not a surprise there. It's hard to barrel up a ball like that on Peary. But he does. And here's Dorian.
Yeah, a little jam shot in on the hands there, 74 off the bat. And for Brooks, he's just not trying to do too much. Peary, the tough guy to see, submarine. He's got that fastball in the low 80s and a frisbee slider. He's going to beat you with deception, the ball moving a little weirdly.
Squares to bunt. Pitch goes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. There is an appeal. Dorian 2 strikeouts, but extended his hitting streak in the 4th with a single and a run. One ball and 1 strike on Gonzalez. Dorian climbs back in. The Hurricane with Michael Brooks, the Kansas Jayhawk, off first base. And he hits it foul.
Dorian and Michael are from spots close to each other. Michael being from West Palm Beach and Dorian from Miami, not exactly in the same backyard or neighborhood or anything, but about an hour, hour and a half away from each other.
Peary deals the 1-2, and it's slashed foul. Cotuit in control of their own destiny, with Hyannis trailing 11-1. If they win or tie and they gain any points in this game, they will be the West Division regular season champion. Strike 3 is called. Dorian set down for the 3rd time tonight. Sets up Byram Hott.
Number 36, Byram Hott.
It's going to be hard to see that low pitch in the zone from a submarine guy because out of the hand, the ball is going to be rising a little bit, and then when it gets to the low part of the zone, it's got to dip again.
Swing and a miss, runner goes, and Brooks is out. Kind of a delayed start from Michael Brooks. It's going to cost him. Thrown out at second base. Hott now in an 0-1 count. Now having words with our home plate umpire.
Yeah, he fell over home plate and got in the way of Scanlon, and even if Dorian was safe, they were going to call Dorian out at second because they said that Hott interfered with Scanlon.
Righty hitter with Rene Lastros on deck. Fouls away in 0-1. Now 0-2.
Isn't this kind of funny? You got Brock Peary, sidearm pitcher, and college baseball sensation Stephen Schock was a sidearm or a submarine really hurler for a Cotuit for 2 summers back in the late 10s, and he came back about last week and went around to a whole bunch of different parks, including Lowell Park, and came back and was chilling in the bullpen for a little bit.
0-2. Fouled away off a pole to the right there. Well, Peary's going to be a huge asset should he stick around for the postseason, because he's got what they call a rubber arm. He can go 2-3 innings one day and come back and throw again the next day. And in the postseason, when you don't really get a ton of off days unless you sweep a series, that is a major advantage. A guy that can come out of the bullpen, again, throw 2-3 innings in maybe game 3 of a divisional semifinal and come right back and throw in game 1 of the division championship series. 1-2 sails off the plate, a level count. Again, postseason opens up Friday. Game 1s are Friday, game 2s are Saturday, and any game 3s that need to be played will be Sunday. Low to make the count full. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the following week will be the Division Championship Series. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the final games of the Cape League season. Ball 4, Hot draws a walk. He's on twice in a row, 3 times today. 2 singles, now a walk. Here's Renee Lastris, 0 for 3. The playoffs began today. It would be Cotuit and Bourne, and then Hyannis and Falmouth. The matchups in the West. Swing and a miss, 0-1. In the East, you'd have YD face Brewster. And then Harwich would travel to Orleans. But as we mentioned, that 1 point, all that is separating Orleans from the 1 seed. Orleans won today, YD did as well, but Kelly Nicholson's squad could very well be the number 1 seed in the East. 0-2. Just off the plate, 1 and 2.
Yeah, they've been giving Renee a healthy dose of breaking balls today. And until he shows his ability to not swing under it a ton, especially up in the zone, they're going to probably keep feeding him to him.
It's worked so far. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Runner takes off. The throw down is dropped at second base. Stolen base for Hot. Could have been out if they had gotten it to Haskins cleanly, but he dropped the ball.
Now 2 stolen bases tonight for Byram, and he's here for a short time, so he's got to make it a good time, and he's got to showcase all of his tools, and that's a big one too. Can you run?
What's the song? I ain't here for a long time, I'm here for a good time.
I just hear that phrase a lot.
3 and 2. It's a song.
Everything's a song.
Hot on second. Lastris in a 3-2 count. Trying to get on for the first time today. Takes ball 4, and he will. Here he loses control a little bit. Walks 2 batters in a row. Now here's Jimmy Brennan.
Brennan's a good guy to have up at the plate here, because against these submarine guys, you don't really want guys that are just swinging for the moon, because
The right fielder from Post.
they'll miss a lot of bats.
13,
Jimmy's a
Jimmy
guy
Brennan.
that keeps his eye on the ball, keeps the barrel in the zone. It's a controlled swing, not going to swing out of his shoes, and just look for him to try to shoot something right side here, maybe wait on a slider and do it, or get a fastball and try to line it into the right center field gap.
Chop, left side. Brennan out at first base. Took Toby up off the bag, but he gets the tag down. And the inning is concluded. It is a 2-3 putout. Wareham unable to get a run. They do get a hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base. 8th inning. Move along here at Spillane Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
I figured at the end of the bottom of the 8th you could stand up.
Have your attention, please. Now pitching for the Gatemen from Arkansas, number 30, Jake Bayard.
draw something.
The man who broke Josh Lanham's glove, Jake Verity, enters the ball game to try and lock things down. Jack Hep able to escape, throws a clean inning. And now you would guess Verity gets the 8th and maybe the 9th.
It just depends on how this inning goes, because in his last outing versus Hyannis on just Friday, he pitched a solid, clean 1, 2, 3, 6th inning, and then in the 7th inning, only got 1 out, gave up 3 runs. It was not a great second inning. So for Verity, he's just got to try to take it a batter at a time. He's got 3 guys up to deal with, 2 of them lefties. The reason he breaks gloves is because he throws hard. He just needs to try to put it in the spots where he can.
James Hep goes an inning, gives up 2 hits without an earned run, a walk, and a strike, and 2 strikeouts. Faces 6. Verity deals outside for ball 1.
Don't be neurotic about it.
95 to start off the day. It's kind of been his sweet spot where he likes to settle in, especially when he's throwing most accurately. He can go up to 97, even 98. That ball is barreled into right center field. What a start to the inning for James McCoy. He wants second. He'll get it. A leadoff double, the first pitch he sees. A 3-hit day for James McCoy. Sets up Carter Matheson with a runner in scoring position. Matheson is now the tying run.
Well, he got to see a pitch, and then the next pitch he saw, he just absolutely cranked it into the gap. 94, middle. Matheson now at the plate after McCoy just continuing to do some damage today. And he's one of these guys that has been here now for a little bit for Cotuit, trying to settle in, get his batting average up a little higher.
Matheson, a single in the 6th. Other than that, a strikeout and a ground out. Middle infield at double play depth. High and out for ball 1. McCoy with a leadoff double. The 1-0 on its way. Verity steps out. Fans eagerly watching on. Wareham has only beat Cotuit once this summer. They did it here. 7-2, one of their best wins of the summer. The 1-0. Gets the outer third, 1-1.
Of course. Yeah.
Verity try to get Wareham through the 8th with a 5-3 lead. The 1-1. Low and out, 2-1.
There's the story behind it.
Matheson, Harlan, and Scanlon, bottom 3 in this order, are next up in the lineup.
Yeah, that I did know. Huh.
2-1. Here's the pitch. Back at us. 2-2.
I don't know how, but the plexiglass screen in front of us is still hanging on.
Oh, who put those zip ties up? But those have got to be the most sturdy zip ties in the world.
It's really that top one. If the top one goes, I don't think the bottom one's holding it.
No. Well, it's not in a position to hold it. The bottom one, you could probably survive without the bottom one, to be honest. Fouled into the glove of Lastris. And they're going to rule Matheson out. Lastris shows his glove to Alan Lee Bardoni behind the plate. And Verity bounces back nicely, goes to 88 for the strikeout. Now faces Trotter Harlan, who singled in the 2nd. Since then has been retired twice.
Yeah, that's the cutter. It's got good movement on it, good change of speed, and it can be tough to get a bat on it after you see a few fastballs.
Runner on second base. First pitch from Verity. Popped up foul, 0-1. Deep breath. Faraday brings it home. Runner takes off. It's a strike. Throw down to third is late. Stolen base from McCoy. Saw that he had Harlan, a righty, in the box and took advantage of it. They've done that a little bit more on Lastris.
Very cool. Good job.
Harlan now in an 0-2 count. Rests the bat on his shoulder. With Faraday, a nice big set on the mound. Deals, high and in. Game that began at 6:08. Close to its third hour. 1-2. Popped up right side. Sherrod, Caulfield, Brennan. Caulfield makes the grab. Now turns, fires home, and it's wildly off target. McCoy scores, and it is a one-run game, a sac fly from Harlan.
Good small ball by the Kettleers. That stolen base presenting that opportunity. And honestly, I think Jimmy Brennan, he's new to the outfield, so you can understand why he did it, but he's got to be assertive, and he's got to come in, and he's got to call that ball off from Caulfield. Because now, Garrett made the catch. You got the out. That's important. But Garrett had no chance of throwing McCoy out at the plate because his momentum's moving backwards. He's got to throw off his back leg. It's a good throw considering the circumstances. But Brennan coming in has a much better chance of making the throw at home. So he's got to be the one to call off Garrett there.
Yeah, I would agree. That's Brennan's ball if you want any chance at holding the runner. Swing and a miss from Jack Scanlon. Catcher with a single in the fourth, or the fifth rather, and another one in the seventh. F8 back in the second inning.
I used to just, well, Beach Creek is usually
Out of the 9 spot.
I used to end up like when we did
Top of the lineup has been hot as of late. Getting on base 3 times in their last 6 at-bats. So you would rather not face them in this situation. The count's 0-2. Give your offense a chance to score a couple of runs, get you some insurance. The 0-2. In for strike 3. Faraday allows 1 hit, retires the next 3. No 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 5-4 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
A Cape Cod dinner train for 2. Ticket number 90813H.
like a bougie concession stand.
Brock Peary in for a second inning. And he will face Grant Hussey. Second at bat of the day for the Huss Bus, subbed in for Corey Morton. Had a double in the run scored in the 6th that got lost in the lights. Stands in from his left side. Third baseman in, everybody else in the infield back. Pitch slides inside 1-0. Foul to the screen. 1-1. J.C. Cologne getting warm in the bullpen. Could it be his time to shine to close this game out? He was a late scratch from the lineup. We may now know why. The 1-1. Poked off the end of the bat, foul, 1-2. Again, it could just be him getting warm. We don't know what the situation is. Faraday did retire 3 of 4 in that last inning. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to give him the 9th. Right side, and stabbed at second, but the throw's wild.
2 for 2.
Grant Hussey gets a little luck. I wonder what it could be from. 2 at-bats tonight that could have very easily been outs. But the shirts, they help him, and he's going to get lifted for Josh Stevenson. So that non-spot in the lineup will now have a third member of it. Hussey will exit the game. See if they scored a hit or an error.
They scored it a hit.
Then he'll exit the game 2 for 2. Here's Bobby Bozer. A single, a walk, and a home run in his last 3 appearances. Righty at the dish. The first pitch to him. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Nobody out of the inning, right around first base. Outside, level count. And 6:30, we get the pregame rolling tomorrow, and a 6:45 first pitch. The 1-1. 1-2. If anybody knows of things to do in Worcester, happy to go in early. It's a little bit of a trek. Might end up being the longest trip Wareham takes this summer. 2-2. A level count for Bozer. Corey Morton's on first. Beg your pardon, Stevenson is on first base, and the pitch snared foul. One of the cooler nights of the summer in temperature. Didn't get really above high 70s today. A swing and a miss. And Bozer's down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
The second baseman from Arizona, number 20,
Garrett Caulfield.
Caulfield.
One ball, no strikes to Garrett. Wareham 5 runs on 13 hits. Cotuit 4 runs on 10 hits. Fouled away to the right side. Gonna get towards where the shell is kept that's used for batting practice. One and one, 1 out. Peary dealing from the third base side of the rubber. Runner takes off. It's bunted, foul. Caulfield into a 1-2 count. He's back in. Guerin with 3 hits on the night in 4 at-bats. A throw to first. Righty back in. Here it comes. Runner takes off. Pitches inside. Throw. Beat him by a mile. Ooh. He's out. I think he came off the base after the slide. Looked like Stevenson was going to be safe. Confusing call there at second. Wareham coaching would like a explanation there. I think he slid in. What was trying to be signaled is that he slid in safely, popped up, foul play, foul indeed. Just a few feet away from Mike Roberts, almost hit him in the head. Thank goodness he's wearing his helmet.
Yeah, the throw on that last one went to the shortstop side of the bag, so Stevenson got in originally safe, but they said he overslid the bag.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, that he was in, got around the tag, but then slid off the bag. All right, here's Caulfield again. And the 2-2 just misses. 3-2. Full count, 2 down. Strike 3. Guerin down on strikes. Wareham looking for a huge upset over the #1 team in the West. Let's stay with you as we go to the 9th and see who comes out. It will be Faraday to try and close this game. Enter Sandman, enter Jake Faraday. Cologne is on hold for the moment. Jake has an opportunity to earn a save, having surrendered 1 run. Bryson Schaefer hoping that Faraday can get these 3 outs and Bryson can get a win. But here comes the top of the lineup, who, as we mentioned earlier, in their last 6 at-bats, the top 3 in the lineup have gotten on half the time. 2 walks and a double. Brock Wills is 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts and a flyout. Wareham looking for their 2nd win of the summer over Cotuit. Faraday all the way to the first base side of the rubber, deals. Ball 1. His 2nd inning of work. Allowed 1 hit, 1 run, but retired the last 3 in his 1st inning. 1-0. Back at us, 1-1.
First game of next season, that thing may just plummet to the ground, and whoever's in this broadcast booth, maybe us, maybe it won't be us. I mean, they're gonna be so confused when this thing just flops over.
It'll be a nice gift from the Wareham intern class of 2023. Rolled left side and foul. One ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Stands in from his left side. Wind's starting to blow a little bit. The pitch. Rolled right side and a nasty hop into right field. Wills reaches. Just a terrible hop for Grant Sherritt at first. And Cotuit has their tying run on base.
I mean, what do you even do about that? We've been hearing that the hops at Blaine here have started to get a little trickier late in the year, that the stone dust has been playing a little bit more difficult. I don't even know if that one hit off the stone dust or just a lip of the grass, but whatever it did, it's not great. Now you bring up the go-ahead run to the plate, and it happens to be the guy that's second in the league with 10 home runs.
Cole Mathis, not a great night on the mound. Gave up Cotuit's lead. Now has a chance to get it back. He doubled in the 5th, his only hit. First pitch is high for ball 1. Doesn't appear to be a ton of action in the Wareham bullpen, meaning this is Faherty's inning. Check to swing, 1-1. Cats and the Gatemen have developed a fun rivalry. Cotuit has hit so well against Wareham, but not tonight. They do have 11 hits, but Wareham pitching has gotten out of jams time after time. 2-1. Now Jake Faherty trying to close this thing down. And tell the Cape League that just because Wareham's been eliminated does not mean they're going anywhere. They still have a lot of games to play. Well, a couple more games to play. And a lot more spoiling to do. 3-1. Hitters count for Mathis. The righty. Faherty deals. Full count. Big payoff pitch. Nobody out, runner on first base in the 9th inning. He sets, fires, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Faherty guns it by him at 94, and Mathis is retired for the first out of the inning. If he had held up, he's on first base, and the potential winning run is on for the Cats, but he did not. Now it's up to Sean Keys. Sean has walked in his last 2 at-bats, but struck out in his first 2. I beg your pardon, flew out in his first 2. First pitch. Check to swing. It's in the dirt for ball 1. Bryson Schaefer is in line for the win. Faherty's in line for a 6-out save. But he's got to get these next 2. One Odell. Check to swing. He more than went around. Level count. Every pitch, a battle. 1-1, 1 out. Middle infield trying to turn 2 and end this thing. Runner takes off. Foul back towards us. 1-2. Will's trying to take away the double play. Couple of steps off first base for Wills. Fired high and tight. 2-2. 93.
Keys has been huge for Cotuit this year. Has homered in 3 of the first 6 games he's played for him. Came in today hitting .500, 12 for 24. It's been a middle of the order bat. See if he can come up here for the Cats.
Again, Cotuit clinches the 1 seed with a winner a tie. Outside, and the count runs full. Great stop by Lastras. Kept it in front of him. Full count, 1 out. Runner takes off. Inside, ball 4. Go ahead run on base. Great at bat from Keys.
If he put the fastball a little more towards the middle from a lateral perspective, high fastball, I think he might have been able to get a swing because that high fastball looks really tempting. But when you throw it up and in on guys, their natural reaction is to get out of the way, and so they're less likely to cut at it. Now you got a guy that homered here in the 2nd inning to kick off the scoring, trying to put an exclamation point in it.
The righty hitter Haskins. In to face Faraday. Wills the tying run on second. Keys the go-ahead run on first. Swings and misses, 0-1.
That's what I'm talking about there. That fastball, maybe even a little middle out, get the hands extended. That high fastball is a hard one to take, and it's also a hard one to get to because Faraday backspins it so well. It's got a lot of ride on it.
Oh and 1, 2 on and 1 out. A look to second, and Faraday deals. In 1-1. Some chin music at 94. If we were at Lowell Park, this would, right about now, would be the time where Ryan Smythe would come out and have a nice long mound visit to try and get this game called on account of darkness. Unfortunately, not possible here unless he's going to turn off the lights. The 1-1 pitch. Fired outside, 2-1. Jacob Tobias on deck. He got up with the bases loaded once already. And he struck out. Would love to avenge that. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Faraday at 93.
Telling you, when he can get that fastball a little bit away from these hitters, they're a lot more likely to swing, and it's very difficult to try to put wood to the ball on Faraday's fastball, or even just try to barrel it up too.
That fastball's been playing mid-90s, pretty much 93 to 95. That ball is pulled over to third. Oh, what a stop by Hott. He may have just saved this game. Byram, fantastic defense. Second out of the inning.
It's a hot shot to third and almost got by Byram, but he didn't let it happen. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Jack's got the puns. Jacob Tobias trying to get the hit that'll tie this game. Cotuit down to their final out. Faraday on the mound, working from the first base side of the rubber. Keys is the go-ahead run on first, and Wills is the tying run on second base. The first pitch, a strike, 0-1. There you go again, mid-90s, 94.
Gotten it on the corner.
Faraday, 0-1. Inside 1-1. Wareham, the worst team in the West. Cotuit, the best in the West. The Gatemen trying to pull off the upset for the second time this summer. They led 5-3. It's now 5-4. Tying run on second. Faraday can smell that post-game meal. The 1-1. Grounded, left side, hot. Fields it, but in foul ground. And now they're down to their final out.
If you're Faraday here, I think you got to go to the pitch that's been your big one here in the ninth inning. That's been the fastball. Try to get a little up in the zone, not really in on the hands. Try to get maybe a middle out. Try to get a swing from Tobias. Challenge him to get the barrel to the ball.
One and two the count. Faraday, a long lift. Sets and delivers. Popped up, left side. And it leaves play. Close, but it can't stay fair. Hot was ready to chase it down. Rene Laster spits and now comes back into his crouch. Pulls the mask on first. Now he's into his crouch. Tobias settling back in for a 1-2. Tying run on second. Go ahead run on first. 5-4 Wareham in the ninth. Faraday fires. Over to second. Caulfield spins and seals a Wareham winner. 5-4 the final. They topple the best in the West. They may be eliminated for the playoffs, but the Gatemen having their own kind of playoff. Their next few games certainly going to be a lot of fun if they're anything like this. Gatemen 5, Cotuit 4. It was a hard hit ball, but Garrett fielded it cleanly and closes out the deal. A terrific win for the Gatemen. Sets the tone for the final week of the summer.
It was a tremendous win, and it feels good to come out on the other side of a one-run game this time. You lost the last two on the road by 1 run in walk-off fashion, and here you get this one a win.
Tonight is also autograph night.
Wareham with a 5-4 win.
Major League All-Stars, please make sure to report to the
Amanda walking over with our buddy Bobby Bozer. The player of the night, finishing with a single and a run in the third, a walk in the fifth, and a home run in the sixth. That ended up being the difference maker in this ball game. Just about set. Here we go. Our Gatemen Baseball Network player of the game, Amanda and Bobby Bozer. Take it away. Or not. It's all right. We'll stick around for just a minute. We're just about set for Bobby. Well, looks like we've lost Amanda, but that's all right, Jack. A terrific win for Wareham. As we welcome you back up into the booth. Terrific win for Wareham. Maybe too little too late. if you're a skeptic, but at this point, again, everybody's just trying to have fun. Ryan Smythe had told the groups before, we're out of the playoffs. We're going to have fun over the next bunch of games, and clearly that's what has set the tone here this week.
Yeah, for sure. This is a great win tonight for the team. They've played competitive and very hard since Tuesday, and it's a shame that they lost the last 2 games by 1 run on the road, but for them to go out there tonight and to be on the other side of it, it's a great feeling.
Bobby Bozer was going to be the player of the game. He still is. We'll just get him interviewed afterwards. But a terrific, terrific win, and it's kind of hard not to feel good about this if you're Wareham. Cotuit, you just have to flush it. You still have the best record. But at the end of the day, you're going to go play You're going to go play tomorrow. Still, same scenario. You can still clinch that 1 seed.
Yeah, and for the Kettleers, this is a game you've already clinched. You can't get too down on yourself about. You played hard. Wareham played really well. There's obviously a few pitches they would like back. The Bozer home run, to name a few, and the offense was a little slower tonight. But this is still a very good ball club, and Mike Roberts knows that. You can't fret those situations.
Tomorrow we're at Polar Park, and we're very excited to do it. 6:30 pregame, 6:45 the first pitch on D1Baseball.com, on the Wareham Gatemen YouTube channel, the Gatemen Baseball Network, and of course, Wareham Community Television. A good thanks to their folks for helping us out tonight and all season. For Jack, I'm Aiden, saying so long. Our producers, Brandon Rachel, and our sideline reporter, Amanda Foster, I'm saying so long from Spillane Field, Wareham 5 and Cotuit 4.